Hey, you silly rats. Yeah, you guys, stop arguing about Solo. I see you in there. Cut it out. We're all friends here. We're ready to go live just in a little bit. It's myself and Ellis. Is Ellis' mic on also? Or no, his mic's not on. Yeah, it's on.
No, please.
Oh, there you go.
You're doing great by yourself.
I'm doing a pretty good job so far.
Hey, guys, we're about to go live here.
Really live.
We have a great show.
It's going to be a great show. Weather and sports.
Very excited about it.
I'm very excited.
We're getting really cranked.
David, go ahead and mute him now. Go ahead and mute him. So we're going to be doing some stuff in just a little bit here. There's a lot of Star Wars shit going on, and the expert is here, Brett Sheridan. Yes. So get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? We found out what the frame rate problem was. Kind of. We think that it's the computer. So you're going to have shit frame rate again today. So we're working on it. But thank you. Please, if you want to start submitting those super chat questions now or the streamlabs.com/Schmoedown, please go ahead and do that. And yes, the robot will be available to annoy Mark for a little bit. Your mic's off. And we'll talk to you in just a bit.
I like this song.
When do we get to talk?
Are the microphones on?
Hello, Schmoeville. It is SEN Live. We are back here on the morning show.
Are we live?
I have the most professional co-hosts in the world. Neither one of them are Brett Sheridan or Kate Mulligan, but Mark Ellis is here. Hello, Mark.
Kristian, great to be back with you, and we were all on time today.
You were. Everybody was.
Early. We clocked in. I clocked in here so early.
Yeah.
Kristian and David Michael Frank did not even know it was me. I walked into the room, and for a minute, I thought that I had died because nobody was acknowledging me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like Swayze and Ghost. They can't see me anymore.
This is an accurate story. So Brett was in here for a second. He walked out, and I said, oh, I thought Brett walked out. And I just, when you just feel like another body in the presence, and I'm talking to David, and then Kate walks in. I go, Kate, and I look over, I go, Mark, when the hell did you get here? And he's like, I've been here like 5 minutes.
Under my breath, when Kate walks in, everybody's like, hey, Kate. And I'm like, I didn't get that creep.
That's true.
Nobody wanted to welcome
you get it
me.
now. Welcome back, buddy. And it's only because I wanted to make it seem like we like each other. And it's happy. I'm happy that you're here. And the robot's happy that you're here.
Oh, boy, the robot.
The robot.
I did something special for the robot today.
What'd you do?
And for all of you.
You know the name of the robot now, right?
It's Schmoebot.
The Schmoebot.
The Schmoebot. Good. Let's give it a name. Let's feed it and let it stay. This is just like an animal.
It worked.
At the zoo, you feed it once and it's never going to leave.
It is not going to leave, and neither is Brett or Kate.
Hey, look at that.
You guys were missed. You were missed the last 2 days. You were missed yesterday. But Winston Marshall, thank you to both Ben and Ben. Great show yesterday. And thank you guys, by the way, for all the support over this past week, and we're hearing you and everything that you've been saying about the show and getting that old kind of SK vibe back. We understand, and we're very aware about the frame rate. We're working on it. We think that it's the computer and that it needs some more memory. So we're working on that. We're hoping by Monday that we get it fixed. So stick with us and just bear with it.
It's an experimental film. We're like George Lucas in his basement right now.
Yeah.
We're making experimental stuff that the world's not ready for. The criticism only fuels us. So here's what I did for everybody today.
Yes.
I brought you all a gift.
What did you buy us? Not macaroni and cheese again.
I was so worried it was still going to smell like tuna in here.
No, it didn't.
What did I?
Winston Marshall brought in tuna casserole. It was a very nice dish. It was a very nice dish.
Oh, no, you can't have tuna in an enclosed.
And then he was proposing to heat it up in Kristian's microwave.
Yeah.
No,
What could go wrong?
What you
What's your
have to
gift?
understand about a podcast studio is that this thing, it's very nice and it looks nice
It
on
is nice.
camera as a clubhouse, but it's like Cloverfield Lane. It's like a bunker.
Yeah.
We're like deep
Oh, yeah.
underground. If you open something that's even a little smelly, it gets exponentially mushroom cloud worse.
We made him put the tinfoil back on immediately.
So do you like the tuna casserole better, or do you like my gift, which is one day only? It's on my face. I brought back the goatee from 2012.
I like that.
Just for you.
I think it works.
I had the full-grown
liked it.
beard all week
Yeah.
just for whatever
Did you?
reason. Yeah, well, I was going to shave on Tuesday, and then I had to go do something for Rotten Tomatoes. I was
look at
talking
you.
to some famous people for Ford versus Ferrari.
Who'd you
and
talk to?
Right before, I talked to everybody. It was great.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a
So my good friend who works at Fandango /
Ralph
Rotten
Biscuits?
Tomatoes, Ralph Biscuits. She also goes by Lucy.
I know
She
Lucy.
she sees me and she brings like the shirt thing because they have to dress me. I don't know how to dress
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
she's like, "Oh, I like the beard. Did you grow that out for the giant?" And I'm like, "No, I just."
Why did you lie at that point? Absolutely.
Just lazy. And but she's like, "You should keep it for the interview because it's like fits like a
I
more
would
of a
love
rough and
to see
tumble
your
Ellis."
beard.
Yeah.
So I just had it, and then I was like, well, I was gonna shave this morning now, and then I started shaving. You ever do that thing where you're shaving in the mirror? Kate, maybe you do this with other parts that aren't your face, and you're just like,
I don't shave.
you're like, oh, look at
Wax.
that. Well, let me play around with
Yeah,
the facial
would you
hair.
cut
So
yourself?
I decided to do the goatee, and I'm gonna shave it. I can't go on stage like
But
this.
you know
Why
what?
not?
You know what? I like it, but you know what I don't like?
Uh.
That you don't have any gray. It makes me mad.
I got some gray right here.
A little.
Right
Yeah,
It's like it's
here.
Good
ish.
start.
It's ish.
As I look at Brett's.
Yeah.
I
Yukon
love-
Cornelius has me beat.
I love my grays.
Yeah, you know, I
once
haven't
it came in-
accepted it yet. I do. I like this hat though. I'll tell you that. This hat came in today.
Yeah, it's-
no. Listen.
It's an evil empire hat.
do
You may as
see
well
who-
be wearing a Death Star.
I'm not going to wear it often though. I'm not going to wear it often. You see who signed it? Can you see it from there? Do you have good eyes?
I should have good eyes. Yeah, but you're not bending down far enough.
That's what she said.
Is that
Your mom.
is that Brian Cashman?
That a girl. Yeah.
It's Brian Cashman autographed your hat.
And I'm wearing it. Yeah. So I'm only going to wear
Really?
it once. I'm only going to wear it
the
once.
guy that's running your franchise into the ground autographed your
Into the ground?
Yeah.
What do you mean into the ground?
He's spending a lot of money. I guess
That's
they're
what they've been
okay.
doing forever.
Yeah, it's putting his
But
product
listen,
on the
before we
field.
get
Even I
into
know that part.
we got a lot of silliness. and
You're
stuff that we're
welcome
gonna get
for the
into.
hat, by the way. He's gonna
I said
skip
thank you. I didn't. I was about to say
Oh, wait.
Brett's sister got it for me.
Yeah.
And it was a very nice gift. And they've
Wow.
he's had it for about. It's like one of what you do when someone sends something from me. They used to keep it in your car for about 3 years. and
Every
then give it to
week,
me.
I hear about this
Yeah.
from Snelling. I'm sorry about the Sight and Sound shirts. They found.
I like that shirt too. I would have been wearing it a lot longer. I like that.
I was
design.
I was wearing that shirt.
It's good.
I've worn it on Instagram.
Listen, once again, I want to thank you guys for, as we've mentioned, if it's the first time joining us or you've been watching since Monday, you guys are the reason that we are on the air in general. The donations and everything, when you're donating to Super Chat, you can do that. We'll be going through the way that this show works and the format of this show.
Are
is
we live?
we will be. Shush for a second, will you?
Is Kate the new robot?
Yeah, she will be. She will be. That cost you $20, by the way.
You gotta put a 20 in the jar. Every time you interrupt Kristian plugging something,
Up
you
top,
gotta
I
put
know.
money
You
in the
gotta
jar.
go, well, for them, I want them to know how the show works. We're
Yeah.
gonna shoot the shit up top, and everybody will know what we're just kind of goofing about, things we want to talk about, things that you mentioned earlier that I want to get to, Brett. But around 20 minutes to like 35 minutes, we will turn that robot, the Schmoebot, on. So if you want to interrupt and watch Ellis go nuts, please do that. Then we're going to talk about all the latest and greatest in news stories. And when we're all done with that, the Schmoebot will come back on because we'll shut her down for about 45 minutes or so. And then we'll take your Streamlabs question and Super Chat questions. And the difference between Streamlabs and Super Chat, Streamlabs doesn't take any of the percentage, and YouTube does. Either way, doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with.
Nah, we want Streamlabs.
Yeah.
No, either way. I mean,
We
'cause
want Streamlabs.
Some people
Kristian.
don't. Some people don't want to leave the YouTube chat. Some people like to stay in the YouTube
If
chat.
you're cool with a percentage of your dime going to the machine,
Yeah.
Oh
then
man.
have at it.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it,
Yeah.
this Schmoebot is fueled by money, by runoff money.
Yes.
That is that we're losing a percentage on. So all that Super Chat coin is going to the Schmo, and it
Yeah, well-
only makes the machines stronger.
the Streamlabs, excuse me,
love.
the Super Chat will not. If you put 20, does not work for the robot. Only Streamlabs.
It's only Streamlabs.
It's only Streamlabs.
Well, then
you
my
really want-
point has been made.
Even made
My
so.
point has been made.
But Brett, you were saying before, because we were talking about, first of all, Kate, it's taken a little bit of getting used to being in the public eye, right? talking about that? Ish?
Yes, yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
So because Brett had said something, he's like, "Oh, look at you, a MILF." and
Well, he said he's like, there's a lot of MILF comments.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm still like, who's a MILF?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I honestly am like, I'm a mom.
Yeah. But
Someone
you are,
would
because
like
even
to
before
fuck
you're
me?
like, what's a deep fake?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what that is.
Truly.
But you then started saying you've gotten some comments and people some really great ones.
Yeah.
Such as
there was I would walk through a desert full of glass to sniff one of Brett's farts. And I mean,
That's really good.
After that, no other comment will
that's
ever
the
be
one.
that.
That's the one you got to live up to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really separates the difference between men and women on social media. Is that dudes get that like once every couple months, and we're like, why? Thank you.
Right.
That is so sweet. And
Yeah.
women get it all the time.
It's
so
like
they're like, you're just
mosquitoes.
another pervert. Yeah.
It's like mosquitoes to them. To us,
exactly
to us
what
it's like
it
a
is.
pretty butterfly.
Yeah, we're sitting on the porch, and we're like, man, if just one life form would come interact,
It's a butterfly.
one mosquito. I don't care if it's a mosquito.
you're a mosquito.
Have a little
Suck
bit of
my
blood,
blood,
there.
you little
Yeah,
prick.
I'll
Do it.
name you
Yeah.
Murray.
Right.
And then
They have spiked bats killing the fucking thing.
females. It's just
It's
it's like
awful.
Indiana Jones and all those ants coming out.
It's a true.
Now,
Speaking of-
Kate, have you been recognized by your since you've started doing these kind of exploits? Like, have you been out of the grocery store or out at
no.
a Gymboree and
That'll
get
happen.
recognized?
No.
No.
All right, well, wait till you
No.
get to the spectacular, because the spectacular is going to be a lot of people.
It's going to be a lot of people wanting pictures. Are you okay with pictures?
Yeah.
Brett's getting used to it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Are you used to it?
Yeah, you just point at them, right? Is that the look?
Yeah. He's been getting better.
Christian, every picture with Christian.
Yeah.
We need to have like coaching for the new celebrities, like how to take a picture and not look terrified.
You're not coming to the Chicago event, by the way. So I was just like, I want to go to the Chicago event, okay?
I was like, just listen,
I can
Christian,
get butts and
just get
seats.
me-
I can get butts and seats. I'm like, you ain't
Do
getting
you
a shit.
know
man.
my family rolls deep
What is
in
that?
Chicago?
The Mulligans are big. They have a bar in every corner.
Santino, when Santino and I were starting out, he booked a show for us in Naperville, a stand-up show, and it was actually 2 shows in a row. And the first audience was my whole family, and the second audience was his whole family. And Naperville's where he grew up. I grew up just a couple towns over, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm telling you, we could.
Well, we're looking. I mean, our tour next year is going to be nuts because we got the draft coming up. We in January. Listen to this. It's the draft. It is the awards. New York on January 25th. Brooklyn, by the way, tickets are going really fast. We only have about 100 left, and it's the Schmoedownlive.com in Brooklyn, January 25th. Get your tickets now. February, we're looking for Atlanta. March, we'll be back for the free-for-all downtown L.A. Shooting for April for Tampa for WrestleMania weekend. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but we're looking at that. May would be Chicago. May or June would be Chicago. 'Cause we're looking at Boston for one of those also.
Why not June for
Because my
Chicago?
brother-in-law's getting married to his
All right. So maybe we shoot for June in Boston.
Stranger
Wait,
things have happened.
wait. I'm going to be in Boston.
In June?
In
Look
for
at
my
this.
brother-in-law's. They're getting married
That's
on
what it
Cape
is.
Cod.
Okay.
Okay, well, look, all I'm saying is that Kristian and I have some experience with couples getting together on a Schmoedown stage. We
true.
could combine the nuptial
Yeah, did
ceremony.
you see that? Someone got engaged on
Yeah.
the yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going?
In New York. It was, I don't know. I haven't followed up with the guy.
They came to see me in New York when I did stand up after. So I did stand up in October, New York, and they came to the show.
Still doing good.
Still engaged?
They did not have one argument the entire duration of the program.
That's good.
Now I heard shouting in the street afterwards, so there might have been a mix-up with
But
the lift.
New York,
but-
New York. You
No,
know,
they're
who's to
doing
say?
great. Yeah.
When are you going out of town again? You doing?
I leave for DC
Right.
next week. That's a great plug.
Thank you.
Ken Knapsack and I are going to DC. Ken's going to feature for me, and I'm doing some shows at the Comedy Loft. Tickets at markellislive.net. And special announcement, you know who else is going with us? The one, the only, the tech expert, Kristian Ruvalcaba. Is going to be in attendance.
Are you guys doing
filming the
recording
shows
stuff? Oh, cool.
for
that's
my
great.
Patreon, and we're
love
filming some
Kristian.
other stuff. I'm going to go to a very sacred, hallowed ground in Ellis Lore in Washington, D.C.
What's
because
that?
my
Go
family's
on.
from there. So
So what are you doing?
yeah, well, I'm going to figure out if they let me in first, and then
Oh,
I'll
okay. Then you figure out what it is. I
How do
understand.
you feel about being from DC? How do you feel about Georgetown?
I think Georgetown's great. I love going to Georgetown because I love walking around, and it's very cobblestone-y, kind of old
It's so
school
beautiful.
feeling. And Georgetown is where the famous Exorcist Steps
Yes.
are.
So
So every time I
Dickie
go
went to
there, I
school
take a
there.
picture. Yeah.
Dickie went to school there, and I was like, I stepped on that campus, and I'm like, it's Hogwarts.
Yeah, it really
I
is.
would have given anything to have been smart enough to go there.
It's very gothic. And what's
those
funny,
steps too.
So the Exorcist steps, that's the original Joker Brooklyn steps. Like everybody's freaking out now because I can't believe that people have been taking pictures with the Exorcist steps.
Yeah.
Those are the real steps. And it is funny because I have pictures of me on the steps with like joggers going by.
Yes.
Because it's great steps to run up and down,
Totally.
you know, or to throw yourself out a window and land on if you're a priest in the Exorcist. So I still get a creepy vibe. You would not know that the Exorcist steps are about to happen upon you because it's like right next to like a gas station, like a Quickie Mart, and you just walk, and then all of a sudden you bank right, and oh my God, that's where it all happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't. That was the only thing.
I wonder how like certain cities feel about like I went to school at Northwestern, so Evanston.
Oh,
Illinois,
so you are smart.
Well, no, I got into the theater program there.
Wow.
But that being
I
said,
wanted to do
Evanston, people that live in Evanston hate Northwestern.
Really?
That was my experience. Someone always like, but then like you go to a place like Oregon, like to Eugene, Oregon, and everybody's a Duck fan there. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. Well, they may not all be Duck fans. They may just be joggers that don't want to get hit by cars at night because they wear that neon. It's the same color.
You like getting creeped out, though.
I do enjoy a good scary movie.
Yeah.
I saw Dr. Sleep.
Oh, you did see that.
I
Okay.
did see
You saw
Dr. Sleep.
And?
Loved it.
Did you? I heard mixed. I hear mixed.
Loved it, and the mixed reviews are coming from people. Like I don't want to.
Wait, give me a review here.
I
We'll
don't want to crush a
We'll
marginalized group, but I'm going to say book readers.
Yeah.
Book readers are the ones
they're the worst.
because people who read Dr. Sleep, they're like, I didn't like how it like. Apparently, it's not as good as the book, which I can accept as somebody who barely can watch a YouTube vid. So I don't read, and thus I love the movie because you get that Shining vibe right from the get-go, and I enjoyed the adventure. It wasn't all scares. There's a lot of like relationship stuff, and I really enjoyed what I was watching the entire time. 2.5-hour movie. I've been on a run of long movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Irishman,
Ford versus
3.5.
Ferrari. Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari, 2.5. Dr. Sleep, 2.5. Rise of Skywalker is going to be like a 2.5.
Yeah, but I'm good with that one.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I was actually really
Irishman too.
and Ford versus Ferrari because I loved that movie. Loved that movie.
Me
It's
too.
Top 5 of the year.
Definitely top 5.
So give me a review though, Dr. Sleep.
Oh, for a clip out?
Yeah. By the way, so you know, by the way, for clip outs, because we heard what a lot of people were saying too. We understand that there's just with the clip outs, just maybe a little bit too much coming out for people's subscription boxes. So we're going to make a separate channel for SEN clip outs. We've already started the channel, created it. We'll probably put the first clip outs today, although movie reviews will probably stay on this channel because that's how this channel was built. So, but Mark, with that being said, and by the way, so we're gonna open up the both the robot and start reading out some super chat questions and Streamlabs in just around 4 minutes. So keep those questions coming out throughout the entire episode, and we'll make sure we're gonna get to all of them. All right, Dr. Sleep.
Sure, I'm not going to be interrupted by a robot.
No. You won't.
Are we live?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
You can interrupt me all you want.
No, let's hear it.
Dr. Sleep, directed by Mike Flanagan, who's great in the world of horror, and it stars my boy Ewan McGregor and Kristian's girl, Rebecca Ferguson. And really one of the stars, I think the breakout star of this movie is a young lady named Kylie Curran. She plays this young girl who has this weird power that we come to know is what Ewan McGregor's character, grown-up Danny Torrance from the original Shining, refers to as the Shining. It's like you can shine, so you just have this extra sensory perception about people, what they're thinking, who else is shining around you. So it's a little bit like the X-Men world with mutants. Like, we just kind of know where all the mutants are, and there's these bad people. There's this commune that's led by Rebecca Ferguson, and she plays Rose the Hat, who's this character who just walks around. She's trying to take other people's shines.
With a great hat.
She's trying to take your shot with it's a pretty nice hat. She looks very like Woodstocky.
Is it as creepy as the movie The Shining?
I don't think that you can count on one hand the amount of films that have ever been made that are as creepy as The Shining.
Music, same music?
The music is so good. Okay. Right from the get-go, you get those classic Shining vibes. So the music in this film, it reminded me a little of like when you take a little bit of old and you combine it with a little bit of new. I think what Danny Elfman was trying to do with that Justice League score, or what we've seen John Williams do with Star Wars. Sure. And so the combination of all that, but this movie knows when it is trying to scare you and when it's trying to get those classic Shining vibes, and it lets you know. It does not mince words. Once we're about to rock with some Shining lore or some mythology or a good scare, you know it's coming, and you better be prepared for it. I loved watching the matriculation of grown-up Danny Torrance, played magnificently by Ewan McGregor. Still not sure what we're doing with that accent. Because, like, for the first hour of the movie, I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, he's just doing his human. And then I realized, oh, wait, this kid's American.
Right.
He's supposed to be.
So it was kind of, he was sipping in and out.
I really don't care.
All right, what do you give
really
it? Schmoe it.
If I'm going to schmo the film, Because I didn't read the book, Dr. Sleep, I am going to say this is like a 4 1/4 out of 5 schmoes.
Wow.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I
Wow.
thought it was fantastic.
Well, there you go. There's the review of
And it made me want to
Dr.
watch
Sleep.
The Shining again.
Oh, well, that's kind of the goal. Who'd you get to talk to in for Ford versus Ferrari? You talked to everybody?
Ford versus Ferrari. So
I sat down with Bale one time, and that was pretty great.
He's
just
awesome. He's just
nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's
Serious.
he's his own kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was very goofy. It was
Oh,
him
was
and
he?
Matt
How long
Damon
did you
were
get to talk
paired
to him?
together. So I go in there and you talk to Damon and Bale for 6 minutes, and
Okay.
it's
Okay.
you know.
I'm sorry. You're being very casual about the fact
Yeah.
that you just interviewed Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Well,
at the
Matt
same
and
time.
C-Dub are my friends,
Yeah.
so you know.
Rotten Tomatoes is covering it, and Mark does a lot of work for Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
know, but like I would have come in and been like, before we do anything else, just everybody needs to know. I sat down. Like I would just have like, you're just like,
because you're green.
I think my big advantage when I do junkets is
You don't give a shit.
There's not a lot of people that I really care about talking
Right.
to.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think that's like I'm not like overwhelmed by the moment.
Yeah.
Like there's I can't even like maybe Paul McCartney. I'd get
Yeah.
a little like so I turned into the Chris Farley show. But yeah, with them, Damon's great because Damon, when you start talking to Matt Damon, you're like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody grew up with this guy
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
life
and
somewhere.
They seem pretty inviting.
And then you look over to Bale, and Bale is just like this. He's
Presence.
just this zany presence,
Yeah.
and he's so much goofier than I thought he would be. And him and Damon were having a lot of fun together.
They were
and
great
so
together in the film. Yeah.
They were so good. I
Yeah.
got to talk to John Bernthal.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Tracy Letts, who plays Henry
oh,
Ford II.
Tracy Letts is one of my favorite actors.
yeah.
He
of all
has
time.
an amazing moment.
In the film. Oh, yeah, I know which one.
An
Yeah.
amazing moment. So I asked him
Yeah.
about that. Then I got
Yeah.
to talk to James Mangold, the director.
And he's, I mean, talk about, that guy just went next level with this film.
He is so cool, and one of the questions, sure, it's a little like played out, but I had to ask him. I was like, dude, you directed a mock but still fight scene between two of the best action stars on the planet, Matt Damon, Jason Bourne, and Bale Batman.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I have to know who wins in a fight between Batman and Bourne. And he's like, I don't know. That's so ridiculous to even ask me that. But then, and I smelled that I was coming, so I followed up. I was like, okay, well, how would Logan fare against them? And he was like, oh, Logan would beat up both of them. And I'm like, gotcha. Gotcha,
Awesome.
Mangold.
Is that up? Can they watch that now?
I have no idea.
Oh, good.
I don't. That's
what I
above
like.
my peg.
All right, fine.
They
Look-
call me when they don't have anybody else available to do
Attaboy.
it.
Swipe up.
You're the
Yeah.
I don't know.
poster boy for marketing. I love it. All right, we are gonna. I will tell you that someone's about.
You
to
guys
jo-
keep going.
Someone's about to join the show.
Oh no! God.
Someone's
shit.
about to join the show,
Oh,
ladies and
God.
gentlemen.
I
You might-
hope it's one of your dumb college.
Is it
buddies.
myself
you'll
and
know.
Kate?
You'll know right now. Here it is.
Yeah, it sounds technical.
The Schmoebot has arisen. The Schmoebot has arisen. She is up and running. So if anybody,
Is it a female? If we,
Yes, she is.
It claims that gender.
Yes, she is. So if you're in the middle of a conversation in a second, be aware that the Schmoebot could interrupt you at any second now for the next 10 or 15
If I
minutes.
take Star Wars off the table for y'all, go around the room. Start with you, Brett. Favorite robot in movie history?
Johnny Five. Sorry, you said Brett first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's-
really,
that was my
you
pick.
really jumped on
Terminator.
his mic time.
You-
You're going Terminator. Okay, Brett. Okay, Brett, you've had time to think about it.
Yeah.
Still haven't. She said Johnny Five, and that's all I can think about right now.
Her from
I'm going really like off board here.
Ex Machina.
Like when you have a fantasy draft and it's like, oh, here's your studs. I'm
Yeah.
drafting an unknown, undrafted free agent rookie that I think has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going Max from Flight of the Navigator.
That's good. I got one more.
Compliance.
I got one more. Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Chimp.
Oh, give me the chimp.
That's old school.
That's like the original go-to.
that is.
Chimp.
Someone said, is that still your nickname?
Chimp.
There you go.
Chimp is thank God for my love of baby carrots. Because like it's never been frustrating when I do live shows. Like people are like baby carrots, or like they give me baby carrots, like actually hand me a bag of baby carrots.
That's so sweet.
Anytime that might frustrate me, I think, hey, you know what? Everybody could be making monkey noises.
That's the truth.
Everybody could be chanting chimp and
wanna-
throwing bananas at
That is
me.
very true. I want to read a couple comments here. This is
Wally. That's my favorite robot.
Hey!
I was literally going to whisper to you, say Wally.
Yeah.
Do you think that Wally and Ave made it, or do you think that it was like... I think it was like a one night. I think Eva woke up the next day and she's like, I'm with the garbage robot from Earth. I can do so much better.
Do you remember who did that?
No. Kristian, it's Kristian from the future. I don't have much time. Listen very carefully.
I like this.
At the end of today's show, something happens that causes Mark to go insane. He tries to kill everyone. Do whatever you do, don't bring up.
And he cut it off.
Greetings from a prequelist. I hate sand.
Is that all one? Is that all one message?
That was two.
There was one more that jumped into the same time.
I was going to say, you
I
opened
hate sand.
pretty ominously with I'm going to kill everybody. And oh, by the way,
Jump
I like the
back,
prequels.
what's that sound? Here she comes full blasting top down.
Yeah. Hot shoe.
Hot shoe burning down the avenue.
Yep.
Model
citizen
Zero
you know
discipline.
she's
You like
coming
her now.
home with me. You'll lose her in the turn.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get her. Panama. Love the goat Ellis.
Love the goat, Ellis.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was from Joe.
It's my 95 rehab Eddie Van Halen.
That was from Joe. What were we saying? I had something right before that was coming up.
Anytime the Schmoebot wants to sing Van Halen to me,
I know.
I'm
You're
up for it.
really
I want to
on
read.
board now.
I want to read a couple questions, or excuse me.
Are we live?
We had the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown, and we will start here with this is from Morse Code Z. One person on the panel made me laugh more than the rest. Later, I found his show, the first of which included the first only movie. So this is from Morse Code. So in the time before I
Still
became...
from Morse Code.
Can we get the Schmoebot to read?
I know, it should. Well, he sent in 210. He could have sent in 1.
That Brian Cashman hat not doing
Not
Kristian
good.
any
So
favors.
in the time before I became addicted to YouTube, I was curious if there were other people excited about seeing a talking raccoon and a Tolkien in space adventure, and then I found this thing called AMC Movie Talk. While I enjoyed everyone's take, one person on the panel made me laugh more than the rest.
I got my bet.
Later, I found his show, the first of which included the first only movie fights on his channel. Thanks to RB3, I watched most, if not all, the previous episodes and have watched him on most of his shows. I've been introduced to Mark, Yodi, Tiff, Makuga, JTE, Copster, Upham, Miri, Red Fury, Maud, Starbuck, and later Roka, Roxy, Rachel, and the rest of my favorite YouTubers. Because of you, I'm proud to be a YouTube junkie. Because of you, I smirk when my friends talk about their goldfish. Because of you, I spend 10 minutes in a coffee shop explaining the Shirewolves. A Patreon from day one. I just want to say thanks.
Yeah.
And long live Schmoedown.
That's how you do it.
That was
Awesome.
great.
That
That's
was-
how you
That was
do
great.
You see that
Thank
soggy
you,
mini
Morse Code
muffins?
dude.
Yeah.
Is it that hard to just say nice things?
Did I tell you that my mother loves soggy mini muffins?
Oh, I'm
Love-
sure she's a big
She loves
fan.
it.
I'm going
But
to get an
Morse-
email about that soon.
I love Morse Code Z. What a nice,
Just
heartfelt.
wanted to give Ben Batemen some love. The army gives him a lot of junk, but we love him. Just don't tell him.
All right.
I was gonna say that's actually Ben Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been.
Because if anybody says I want to tell Ben Bateman I love him, it's just Ben Bateman.
Can I tell? Can we say what
Oh,
we did?
yeah.
So it's funny because Kate doesn't know Ben that well, right? And she,
I met him at Comic-Con with you
which
when
was,
I was
which-
the worst.
So can I tell this story? I don't know if we ever told this on the air.
No,
This
I
is
don't
the
think we
best.
did.
So we're watching. I think it was
I'm like
it was
10
a
minutes before
Kalinowski
your
video.
show.
Yeah, it was Kalinowski versus
Okay.
Smet, and she's looking and she goes, is that Roxy's ex-boyfriend? Looking at the screen, and I go, no, and I point over to Ben who's standing in the room. That's him, and she's like, okay. She just slams her head into the.
Wait, the three all were in a hotel room watching.
She was
Well,
watching.
I went over. There was like
You
10
thought
minutes.
this would be a regular Streamlab donation, but no, it was medio. Hurry.
What was that?
That was a deep cut from Van Halen's unreleased debut.
Yeah, you thought this would be
Produced
regular.
by Gene
you.
Simmons.
I see. Yeah. Somebody's doing that. But anyway, so we watched the promo for the Smets and Kalinowski thing, and it was pretty awesome.
I was.
That's hilarious.
I met him, but then yesterday I was
That's a
listening.
very sitcom-y moment.
Oh, I was like,
That's the X.
But so she then we're walking. She's like, I don't know how to take Ben Bateman.
because he's so brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I'm listening to him talk about Kalinowski, and she's like, he is just. She thinks Kalinowski's one of the best players that we have in Schmoedown.
I would agree with that.
And Ben doesn't even think he's in like the top 10. Right?
And not
yeah,
only
but they
that,
have like a.
No, I know,
that's
but
what I
not
said.
only that,
That's
but
what
like
I
the
said.
way he answers it is like you're an idiot for even asking it. He's like, he was like yesterday in the show. He was like, so what do you think about Kalinowski? Is he in the top 5? Nah.
Yeah, well, he does that to get into Kalinowski's
Well, he's
head.
also,
But then also, like,
yeah.
Then Winston brings up like Magic the Gathering, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got one of the top podcasts in the world about it." And so I said to Kristian, "I'm like, I don't know if I have to like Ben Batemen because I think he likes himself enough for everybody."
Well, when you interact with Ben Batemen, you just have to realize it's like he's a different kind of species, and I think a lot of ways he's a higher thinking species than us mere earthlings. Now, again, sometimes that leads to like misreading of emotions. Like I have a feeling if you handed Ben a puppy, he might try to eat it just because he doesn't know any better. Like that's why he kidnapped Riley's dog a couple of years ago.
It wasn't him, that was Kalinowski that did it.
I thought it was Ben.
That's what they thought.
Listen,
man, I can see the end of that movie.
See, everybody gets Kalinowski and Bateman confused.
That's the truth.
They're both very nice chaps.
Yeah, I love Bateman's one of my favorite people.
Both have pretty faces, too.
Because just from his love of the Schmoedown, I said he's the most cerebral player that we have in the Schmoedown.
Well, he's
he's
stats. He's working out. But like to be like, I mean, Kalinowski, I've run his stats. He's middling at best. It's just like, gee, like he's a middle level player. If you look at his stats, and I'm like, no, sir.
I can't wait to have you two on. You know what? When I have Kalinowski and Bateman on the table, you've got to be here.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Okay, good. All right, let's get.
I'll sit on Kalinowski's lap.
I was going to say something else. Okay, I'm going to get to Rad. Excuse me. This is Rad Dad Talks, who had put the robot in there, but before it was on, hiding in the bathroom is my personal space, and family usually leaves me alone for a bit when I'm here. Kids claim they leave me alone because it stinks, but I don't think it's that bad. But whatever. It takes a moment of space. Peace. Anyway, you all rock. Thank you so much for that. House Heisenberg. I keep track of the top 10 best movies you and Ellis do every year, but opinions change, and movies like Last Jedi wouldn't be on your 2017 list anymore.
It'll still be on mine.
Fair, not mine. I think an end of the decade SEN series where you and Ellis revisit the list and give revised top 10s would be fun.
Wait, we could do it this year because
it's the end of a decade.
Oh, it's the end of times. God,
nuts.
Why are people procreating still? It's 2020. We got like a couple of years left.
We're entering the 20s.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, we're entering the 20s.
The best Star Wars movie.
What was it?
I think
Revenge of the Sith
is the best Star Wars movie.
David, how do you feel about that statement? Are you a prequel guy or are you a Revenge of the Sith guy?
3 years old.
Okay, no. I got some age on me,
yeah.
but
I'm 4.
look, I know the old school Star Wars movies. My dad raised me, right. I watched all them. We had sword fights with noodles, outside the pool. Those lightsabers.
Hey, Mark Ellis, here's what you can do. Wait for it. Lick my hairy scrotum. Hi, Brett.
Hey. Okay.
Hi, Brett. They're doing it for you.
The Schmoebot giveth and taketh away. What really bothers me about this now is that anytime I'm listening in my car to Panama and I'm rocking out, I'm like, I'm 10 minutes away from licking a scrotum.
Because the
hairy scrotum.
It's like I could see like a poster of you and the Schmoebot. Like it's like the Logan Paul fight that's coming up. It's like the two of you guys.
There's a lot of flailing.
Yeah, against it because
the high Brett was slightly diminished by the previous.
Yeah, you didn't really get your due with
scrotum.
Hi, Brett.
Yeah. Was that the thought process? Scrotum, Brett.
Hairy scrotum.
I assumed that was like one of your catchprouses.
Oh, yeah, like my scrotum.
Yeah, I just thought you went around saying
there was a serious beef with the Schmoebot and Ellis, but you do like that she's only available for maybe half an hour. 40 minutes.
I mean, I had a hand in that decision.
You had a huge hand in that decision. And you weren't wrong.
Please have my 2 VIP tickets to the Schmoedown Spectacular ready at will call. 1 for me, and 1 for your mother. I heard she was a fan. Okay. I mean, no disrespect, but with all due respect, I have no respect.
Soggy mini muffins.
Coming
in hot.
So going after the moms early.
Yeah. I think that it's Soggy Mini Muffins is an absolute genius. He's become the genius of the Superbot of the Schmoebot.
Genius is a word I don't throw around lightly.
I think he's right now the Schmoebot king.
Einstein. Galileo. Mini Muffins.
Soggy Mini Muffins.
The greatest thinkers of our time.
Isn't it true? So Soggy Mini Muffins brings up a point. The Spectacular, by the way, is December 7th. That is, it's such a big event. We're really excited for it, too. Downtown L.A., to be able to be there. Downtown L.A. Listen to the
5 matches.
5 matches, 4 title matches. Listen to the
Ellis, any idea on when you will next come to the Dayton Funny Bone in Ohio?
I've never been to the Dayton Funny Bone in Ohio. I was doing the Columbus one, but Dayton actually maybe sooner rather than later. I'm in talks with a number of great Midwestern clubs. So 2020, if we survive.
Any in Naperville?
Naperville, Chicago?
Naperville, Illinois.
No, but the Zanies there, they have a great market because I had never done the St. Charles one. Have you ever been to that one?
No.
The St. Charles Zanies. It's like you have downtown Chicago Zanies, which is like a classic all-time club.
Yes.
You have the Rosemont Zanies, which is brand new. It's like engineered for a comedy club. And then you have St. Charles, which is like an hour outside, and it's like a barn, like attached to a hotel, and it's awesome. It is
like
so much fun. It's like we're having a huge hootenanny. The room is so like deep and not what you wouldn't think would work for. It is fantastic.
That's awesome.
It's by that was by
but we cut off your
Brown. Yeah, but that was Devon Brown who asked you that question.
Oh, thank you, Devon.
It's a Schmoedown Spectacular. There's going to be 5 big matches, 4 title matches, and this is the card. The first one is going to be Ben Batemen versus William Bibiani. 5 rounds. Winner will play.
He talked about Bibiani. I don't know.
Listen, winner plays Paul Oyama for the title at the end of the night.
The last match.
That's right, for the singles championship.
And then 3 in between.
And what those 3 in between are incredible. The second match will be the Star Wars Championship. Alex Damon, who seems to be unbeatable, defending that title against Laura Kelly, who looked pretty damn good in that match.
I think Laura or Andrew, that match could have gone either way, and I think this match could go either way.
Yeah, it's all about who misses that first question. Yeah. And then the Teams Championship, you're going to have the Teams Championship will be the reigning champions, Dan Merle and John Roca, defending against whoever wins the team tournament, which is up and running right now. We're 2 matches in. The third match drops today. That's the Time Machine versus Scream Queens. Whoever wins the entire tournament will play the Founding Fathers. And then we talked about Mike Kalinowski. He's defending his Inner Geekdom Championship against Smets.
What is David's opinion about Revenge of the Sith? Let him talk.
We never got that.
Oh, okay.
Let him speak.
Let him talk.
Let him speak.
Donna Martin graduate.
That's true. That was from Movie Buffs. No, that wasn't.
That was from Darth Apostasis.
Darth Apostasis. Yeah, go ahead and listen.
Okay, so look, I appreciate all the new, the prequels. But as you guys are all professional Star Wars analysts,
appreciators,
fine. I'm just gonna be out here and I'm gonna represent Jar Jar Binks.
Okay.
I appreciate myself a good Jar Jar.
Are you going Sith as your favorite, or are you going Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones?
I played. I'm gonna go.
Go clones, man. Go big or go home.
I'm gonna go big.
Yoda.
And the pod racing was badass.
Pod racing's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Now this is what I call pod racing. I put on I had some Harry Potter glasses. I've got like 3 different spectacle sets, and I put on the Harry Potter glasses from when he's like a kid. When he's got like the tape wrapped around him, and I put them on, and I looked like I was pod racing because they just take over your entire face. That's not the ones we went with, but if I ever need to be a pod racer in a future Halloween setup, I got the equipment.
I'm going to jump to Super Chats in just a second before we get into the movie news, but here's a few more from streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Ton of those coming in today. Haskell 420, he put in the 20, but it didn't read it out. So you can add my name of male counterparts to the Schmoebot voice to the Super Chat, as well as simulate your mind, body, and soul. There's a whole bunch of numbers. 14, happy, joy, happy, joy. Are you happy yet?
Great show.
Yep. Goopy G. No, we did that one already. That was the chimp one. You from the future did that one. Darth Apostas. He's a greetings from the prequels. He said he hates sand. And then we heard all these robots. And we're gonna get to Movie Buffs Mania. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Showing support from Australia. I wrote the long-ass message on the first show about depression and how much you guys give meaning to me. Who's one actor or movie that you would go to when you're feeling down? Mine is Robin Williams, either movie or stand-up.
Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby.
I think I found the.
Mark can't wait to see you and Ken in the District of Champions.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I think
Keep
I found
up the good work and loving the new show.
Key to the
It's
Schmoebot.
amazing and hella funny.
Thank you.
Anytime we bring up a dead person, that's when the Schmoebot is like, oh, I got to cut the tension in the room.
The Schmoebot starts to become that comedy though. No, we're going to talk about baby sharks and farts.
No, that's what they wanted.
Yeah, it's
one actor.
Robin Williams is actually mine too. Although, dude, I watched that Inside My Mind thing the other day, and the end of that, I had a breakdown.
The Robin Williams documentary?
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
fantastic.
so good.
I am thinking about Superbad. What am I thinking about? Is it The Walking Dead? Oh no, it is Of Mice and Men. Get that water, Brett.
Were you here for that when that happened?
Yeah, that was Monday.
I was the one that called you out on it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is this The Walking Dead? No, you see, Chief, there's these things called books that were invented before television.
How dare you? You didn't read one. You read
when
a
the
book.
zombies attacked in the third season.
Did you say something about Rambo?
Kate, your movie, Brett.
You're a dead person?
I forgot what the question was.
Who
the robot.
who do you put on when you need to be cheered up?
Yeah.
In a cinematic sense.
It's a
Oh, that's a great.
Oh, that was written by Rambo. That's
I think
Wally.
Yeah. Robin's a good one to go to. Eddie Murphy's probably mine just because the Beverly Hills Cop movies are just so fun and they move so well. The Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
The Nutty Professor gives me all the emotions. Like, I love that movie.
My Name is Dolomites in your top movies this year, right?
Oh, right.
As of last week, it was my favorite film of the year.
Okay.
And then Ford Ferrari's given it serious competition. Dr. Sleep I really liked. Yeah. The Irishman's really good.
Also, please have 2 Perrier waters ready in my dressing room and make sure to set the AC to 69. I see Mark Ellis has switched out his ball cap for a dirty trucker hat.
This is a Valiant
I will knock
Comics
that thing off his head so fast it will fix the frame rate.
Soggy Mini Muffins, come on. Soggy Mini Muffins. He's got to be the
I
champ.
don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating and it gets everywhere.
Schmoebot,
David
not a fan
rules.
of sand.
David Rules, big fan over here, David.
Wait, that's the
That's Darth Apostas, but the
No,
one
I know,
before that
but
was
the
Soggy
sand
Mini
reference
Muffins.
is about Natalie Portman's line. Yeah.
No, it's
okay.
not her line. It's his.
What
line.
I would tell
To her.
Soggy Mini
yeah.
Muffins is if punching me square in the face
Yeah.
is what's going to fix this frame rate.
Have at it.
This
Then
mug
do
is
it.
here for you.
Let's do it.
It's been through worse.
Soggy Mini Muffins. He is the undisputed champion of the Schmoebot right now.
Yes,
Yes.
Kristian, that's different than crowning
genius.
someone a genius.
Well, that's what they said in Mice and Men. I am going to read a few more super chats here, and then we're going to get to the news because there's a lot of it. And
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
do you think?
I'm still thinking of my favorite robot.
do you think that by the time will there be one more Soggy Mini Muffins?
Oh,
or, no, I think he's going to save it by the end of the show.
One of Soggy Mini Muffins is just Jeff Bezos because this person does have money.
It's just me. It's just me typing over here. All right, let's get to some
Go
of the
to Whole Foods.
super chat.
Amazon.
Super chat. PC says this whole week has just been awesome. Thank you very much, and people are having a good time with the comedy.
How do you feel about this whole week?
Love it. It's the most comfortable I've been on the air in a long time.
Good.
Yeah?
And
Shows have been good?
Shows have been great. And I think that to Mark's credit also, when we were talking about the show, I was going to have him come on Wednesday last week. He's like, nah, I got to be here for the launch. I want to be here for the first one. And we started talking about Mondays. And I think it's good because people wanted to see us back on camera again and have us kind of shooting the shit.
I like the Monday thing.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Monday thing, but I like having the luxury of being able to pop in on
whenever you want. Yeah.
Friday when I can.
Well, that's what I told people. I said, you'll be on once a week, and whenever you want to come on.
Bank on it.
Yeah, so whenever you want to. But
take it to the bank, Brett.
I like the fact that you guys get to shine and do your thing, and it's like we talk about movies, but it's also shooting the shit like we've always wanted to do, and it's a good morning show for people, and people get to laugh. RB3 and David and Ben have also shined to get this thing running. I like creating crews. I like putting crews together and watching people just have a good time where because I was talking to Kate about it. She's just like, I just like doing the show and having fun. That's my favorite comment.
I don't know if we still call Goddard the Ben the murderer, but he's crushing it.
He's doing really good.
Yeah, he's doing great in the chat room too.
Is he in there now?
He's like the principal. But he's like Tom Berenger in The Substitute.
Yeah.
Comes in, he's teaching these kids school. He's like Michelle Pfeiffer in
Will
Dangerous
you have
Minds.
a Star Wars show like Jedi Council?
Oh, so someone just asked, will you have a Star Wars show like Jedi Council? Darth Apostas says that. We will not. We have Dark Side, Light Side, which is on Campy's channel on Tuesdays that I'm on. But we will be doing, or at least I will be doing, Mandalorian reviews, episode spoiler reviews on this channel that you will be able to be a part of. I think it's going to probably be, the first one will be on Tuesday when it drops, like probably later on in the day. And then Fridays when they come out, I'll also be doing them. But if the panel has watched the Mandalorian reviews, we'll do non-spoiler reviews on the panel.
Oh, I
also.
would pay. I think you should, all due respect, you know a lot about Star Wars. I think you should take the Mandalorian and take a step back.
And let everybody else.
This is your crew.
And let
that reviews The Mandalorian.
I've been talking to my son. We're gonna get the Disney Plus to do the
Oh, I'm
Mandalorian.
100% gonna watch it.
You and your brood, Brett and his brood, make it two families. Let's Hatfield and McCoy this thing.
My brood's too young.
They're done seeing Kristian and I talk about Star Wars. They know how we feel.
We're actually working on a Star Wars show that we're going to be doing on this channel.
I would watch that religiously. Okay, let's do a couple more super chats.
Which
then
one
we're going to
was it?
shut off
Return of the Jedi or the new Jet? Is it a new?
Why is Boba so fat?
Yeah. Why would they call him Boba fat?
It's fat. It's fat.
Oh.
What's the impression that you do? Oh, you do Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
You do Holly Hunter. You do Seth Rogen.
Not really.
You do Seth Rogen. You do a good Seth Rogen.
I can do a giggle.
And then,
I do Patton Oswalt and Zach Galifianakis just all the time. I guess.
Is that true? Oh, this is who you are.
Always what I.
But I want to make sure people know that because super chats, they are a lot of fun when Winston and I were doing Obama and Arnold. But you said there's a new impression that I do that you think is better than Arnold.
Oh my God, your Dumbledore.
It was kind of the first time I ever did it, and I didn't get a chance to because
It's the Richard Harris one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it all the way through because it was one of because same thing I did when I was doing the Statham and I was into it for a second, I couldn't think and then I just stopped doing it.
You just lose it.
You lose it.
It's like a golf swing.
Yeah, so just try it. It's like Harry.
It's so good.
We want you to make sure
I think it's
that you are going to be here for soggy mini muffins.
And you gotta look up over the bridge of the glasses.
Yeah, you know how he does that.
Sometimes.
You know what place he goes to do that. He's basically
Ralph's.
doing the male version of his mother-in-law. That's exactly who.
You could have the two of them having a conversation. Where do you want to go? I was figuring we would get bagels and lox.
Yeah, there you go.
I like bagels and lox. All right,
Pat really giving the business.
meet her.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, all right. Let's do a couple. Let's do more.
Let's do some more.
All right, let's see. We're still on 11-8. Okay, Ragan, Weatherford. I love you, Kristian. I'll follow you anywhere. Well, thank you so much. Emma McAllister says, is the draft going to be legitimate or kayfabe? Either way, I'm psyched. So great. No, it's a good question. Because the free-for-all, I have no problem. Say free-for-all is designed, and some are legit, some are designed for, because that one you have to do it that way. Because when people are there, if you had all the big stars come out the first 7 or 8, it's like, all right, and then new people come in, it doesn't hold that weight. The same way the Royal Rumble does it. However, the draft, it's more exciting for it to be 100% legit. To have
okay,
so that way I know when Emma is making her picks and Winston's making their picks, it's all their picks and it's all they're designing the team. I still make the schedule for the entire season, but they are picking the teams that they want, and they can advise me and all that. But it's 100% legit, full teams. They're playing for a prize, so I'm not getting involved.
So, as the chairman, are you going to be the commissioner of the NFL or the NBA, where you're the one that walks to the podium and you're with the third pick?
I'm going to let
2020.
I'm going to let the managers make their pick.
All right, letting them
With
around a microphone is risky.
I know.
Are you gonna have camera crews with the players and their families?
Well, we're not with their families, but what we're thinking about doing for the draft, and this is a conversation we had via email, is this whatever theater we get is to put we're not going to have the entire roster of 120 people there, but a lot of people on the stage with cocktail tables and everything as they're on the stage, so the fans who are watching can see all the reactions from the players and everything too.
That's one option we are kicking around. That is true.
It's not confirmed. All right.
That is true.
So we are going to shut the.
I love when mom and dad fight.
Yes.
And anytime Kristian's well, yeah, we were emailing about this. I'm like, let's not go all Sony and just show everybody our emails.
That's
okay?
right.
Let's keep that under the basket.
Understood.
Yeah.
Let's. We're gonna shut it down. We're gonna shut down the robot.
Oh.
Just for a little. Just for a little.
Into the trash bin.
Yes, because we have a ton of stories, news stories.
Oh,
big
now
stories.
we'll really get involved.
Yes. Well,
I was going to say, let Brett have the first opening salvo on the first news story.
But don't joke like that, because I was breaking balls because Brett the other day was talking about how much he wants to get involved, questions that he wants to ask. So
I also have to say, I know that we don't know the nitty gritty, but I don't think we're idiots.
No.
You're not a genius like Sock.
I was going to say,
what the hell? What the hell did we know? What did we know when we started this show? We didn't know a lot about this. It's
very little.
All right, so we are gonna. Kate's gonna read off these stories. We have a lot of.
I'm gonna read them like Kristian does. So Stockbucks. Oh, sorry, that's Star Wars. Stockbuck.
I can't read that. I don't have my cheaters with me.
But we do. There's a ton. Look, Mark, there's a lot of news out there. A lot of great stories that broke.
Are there?
Last night. Yeah, some good stuff. I mean, there's a few Star Wars stories. So, Kate, what do we got?
Yeah. So, Screen Crush is reporting that the Star Wars movies are going into a hiatus after the rise of the Skywalker. Excuse me, that was on purpose. So basically, Brent Lang, tweeted out, Disney CEO Bob Iger says Star Wars feature films will go on into a hiatus.
It's not that easy, is it, huh?
Well, no. This tweet isn't. Listen, this is the literal. Feature films will go on into a hiatus.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like correct grammar.
No, it
No.
isn't.
Well,
I'm reading it as it is. But
go ahead.
following rise of the Skywalker, says there will be lots of activity on the TV front. Mentions 3 series in the work for Disney Plus.
Now, 3 series in the works.
Yeah, so-
that's past Mandalorian and
Is it?
He said in the works. So you got Mandalorian, right? That's not in the works. That's done. So you have Obi-Wan, Cassian. Those are 3 that are already made or being made.
Cassian and Obi-Wan are in the works.
I guess you can count those in the works.
I don't read much into like
what's the
a
third?
4th series that he's talking about. I think that's just corporate speak.
You just think it's the 3 that's already been talked about.
Iger's saying he's very good at it, and he is, I think, just talking about how the fact that The Mandalorian is not released yet. So it is technically still in the works.
Right.
You know, they're tweaking a shot, or
Right.
I'm sure it's ready to go. I'm sure we can all watch it and enjoy it here
And also,
today.
it definitely has a second season. Did they finish the second season?
They haven't filmed. They haven't started.
So
They're going to start
I would
filming
say
next.
that might still be
Yeah,
in the
and as
works.
far as
Yeah.
the movies or the saga movies going on into a hiatus, I mean, I think that after Episode 9, Star Wars films, as far as this saga goes and these characters, are kind of like going into an asteroid field or like a black hole for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, how soon they come up from that black hole, I think is determined on if Rian Johnson can do a trilogy, if they can find somebody else to replace Benioff and Weiss for whatever Old Republic trilogy they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the right team in place to tell new stories, I think they go back to the Episode 10 well sooner than they maybe would have liked to.
I think that would be I don't disagree with you, but I think it would be a huge error if they did that.
I think so too. I think you
So
say
that's panic button stuff right there.
that's hey, we need to have Batman and Superman fight each other now because we're losing too much ground to Marvel.
And nobody's gonna, that's them not believing in the original IP that they have.
I think what you do is you say, look, we're tabling Episode 10 for 10 years at least,
right?
And we're just gonna, and that's off the table. So now what else can we work on? And I think that Star Wars, even though look, you've had some directors or writers sign on, and that always happens. It just becomes more public because it is such a name brand like Star Wars. So you're gonna have people that want these jobs that are gonna do great stuff. Let them work their magic.
I see the movies going away, and they're all going to become this. I feel like this is going to be.
TV shows, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's going to be TV shows. You can tell more of a story. I think that a lot of people are going to dig this, and I think everybody shits on the movies. There's always this. And then this one they can
too hard to please the movie.
Too hard to please with the movies, and I think this hiatus, like you said, might be 10 years, might be whatever. I think this is the wave of the future.
And I don't think you're wrong, but I don't think you're wrong with that. I think that's actually a good way to look at it because you can evolve.
Point, Brett.
You can evolve the characters and stories that way. But getting rid of movies altogether, that won't happen because too much money. You look at first of all, Rise of Skywalker definitely going to make $1 billion. Last Jedi made $1 billion. Rogue One made $1 billion, and Force Awakens made $1 billion. So you're taking almost $1 billion off the table in theaters. Yes, you're going to get a lot of people signing up to Disney Plus through these series if they're successful, but you need the movies. I think that the 2022 or 2023 movie will still happen, even if it gets pushed to 2023 instead of 2022.
I think it should.
It's the Feige movie.
And
it's
I
the
think
Feige
that
movie. You got to give them time.
I think that you need Star Wars to go away. Like I've talked about before, like the tantric experience
The
of
movies
enjoying
you need
Star
to go
Wars
away.
movies. Yeah, is that you don't want a Star Wars movie in theaters every 6 months, or even for me every year, or maybe even every 2 years. Like I love waiting for a long time. Yeah. I know that it's such a faster day and age than it was in the late 70s, early 80s, or even when we moved on to 2000. I think that where we are right now, first of all, like theaters would shit a brick if they found out Star Wars was not going to make movies for 10 or 15 years and they're going to streaming. That is like sounding a death knell for theaters because then they're just relying on comic book films and Oscar bait.
What's funny though is that the movies in terms are really not going away because Obi-Wan is essentially going to be an 8-hour movie or a 6-hour movie.
Well, yeah, but
I know what you mean. The theatrical experience of it, those movies going away. But the experience of Star Wars theatrically, of what TV is today, it is so different than what TV was 5-10 years ago, because you didn't have the budget that you do today. And Disney Plus, they have so much money that every episode, you look at Mandalorian so far, the trailers, they look like movies. I mean, it looks like a movie. It does not look like television.
Has everybody signed up for Disney Plus?
Yes.
I haven't yet, and I was asking you guys about it because I'm kind of interested in this, the rumor of the Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu kind of
the bundle. The bundle's like $12 or something.
Yeah.
They had this deal with D23 where you could sign up, and they had like kiosks everywhere.
Yeah, you get it for 3 years.
Yeah, they have they have them in the bathroom while you're taking a leak. And I'm signed up, so I didn't sign myself up. Even with that discount, I did it for I got it for my brother. And for my sister, just like early Christmas present.
Send me the password.
So now I'm done.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can do it that easy.
I don't think you can.
But I haven't done it for myself yet, just because I really think that I'm just gonna like go to your place or go to Ken's place or go somewhere to watch, or go to Kate's place, which is very close and convenient, to watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna do that. But I have to find it. I've been looking for, because I get everything through my Roku. And it's not available on Roku yet. So I think what I'm going to do is just sign up for it, and then when it comes on, I think it's available through Amazon already. So maybe we'll do that also.
Are they going to release these not binging wise? They're going to do them weekly?
Kind of. So what they're doing is Monday. So it releases Tuesday morning, like 3. Then it releases the second episode that Friday. So you get 2 episodes in 1 week. I think they release 2 episodes a week for a bit, and then they're going to wrap everything by the time Rise of Skywalker comes out. The whole season will be wrapped. So you can watch the whole season in like a month and a half.
Here's a question about the future.
Yes.
Let's ask your future self. So right now, this is the age of binging, consuming. Netflix drops a whole series. You can watch all of Fleabag, blah, 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 right away. And so movies, especially something like what we're talking about here, like it especially spreading out the Star Wars movies, it's going against that, right? Saying like, now you have to wait. It's what you're talking about. Is there going to come a time when movies are going to like become an all-day binging thing, which is to say that like we're gonna start having 8-hour movies, and people are gonna spend a day, like go to, like, you know how like there's some movie theaters that will like you can go and sit in a movie theater and watch all 3 Lord of the Rings back to back.
Oh, wow.
Our movie's
is that gonna become a thing? Like where people on a Saturday are like there's breaks built in.
Studios would never do it. They're too scared right now because movies. You have to have Marvel or DC or Star Wars IP to make a lot of money in theaters right now. You got to have those. I mean, it's IP driven films that are making the money in theaters. That's why a lot of fans get mad that we don't
I guess what I'm saying is that will that be a way that people are going to make their money through theaters? Which is to say, like, if Marvel decided to put all, because people can't say they don't have time to do it anymore, because people have time to binge whole TV series,
Right.
So if theaters, if they're looking to make money, and Marvel, whatever, like if Marvel put all of the Avengers movies back to back over, it's like a 2-day event. You go to your theater and you do it.
I mean, they do that often, but I don't think they can do it all the time.
That's not.
Yeah, they usually do it to celebrate a new movie coming out, where it's like watch all the movies leading up to it, which now if you're doing the MCU, it's like you get there 2 weeks ahead of time. But
I think they should do that. They haven't done that for Star Wars yet. They haven't announced that. I'm shocked that they're not showing the 8 Star Wars movies beforehand.
Yeah, they might. Or there might be an announcement.
Yeah.
But I think either way, I think that the way that the theaters hope that studios look at it is that it's not a function of time as it is what is in the content. Because if you craft something that is supposed to be a standalone 2.5 hours, there's so many secrets and like reveals, and you feel satisfied. You feel like you had a whole meal. Right. The thing with a lot of shows now is that they're made for binging. Right. So it's like you're hungry for a little bit more after the end of each episode. Like you watch something like Mindhunter, and I think 24 was the first one in my mind that kicked off this kind of thing where it's like, oh, no, I need to see what happens next.
Right.
And we didn't have binging back when 24 first started, but they'd released the DVDs. And like, so I would Netflix, but back when Netflix would send you stuff, I went crazy on 24 because I never watched it on TV. I just wait for the season to come out on DVD, have them send it to me, and I'd watch an entire season of 24 in 2 days because I have that kind of time.
Yeah, we did 24 and Alias back before we had kids.
Right.
Those were our 2 bingey DVDs that we would do.
I was not, I don't say upset, but I was like, oh man, I wanted to binge Mandalorian originally, but then when I thought it was going to be weekly, I'm like, you know what? No, I want to wait because I want people to like talk about this show. And then when I heard that it was twice a week, I was like, cool, I don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
And I can still watch the first one, dive back into it, and then get excited for the second one when it comes out on Friday.
An hour?
Things about
each episode's
50
an hour?
minutes to an hour,
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Anyway, so that show that debuts Tuesday in the morning, and then that night I'll be doing the Mandalorian review. So please join me for that. We're going to jump into the next story. Before we do, if you're joining us, you just hopped into the conversation. We will be taking all your questions by the end of the show, the last like 40 minutes. So you can submit your questions, whether it's at Superchat or the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. We will be turning the robot back on after we're done all with the stories, but I want to make sure that if you want to get your questions in now, that's fine. I'll get to them for sure. Kate, what's next?
Next story from Dark Horizons. Disney Plus is needed to follow MCU future. So, Kevin Feige said, if you want to understand everything in future Marvel movies, you'll probably need a Disney Plus subscription because events from the new shows will factor into forthcoming films such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The Scarlet Witch will be a key character in that movie, and Feige points out that the Loki series will tie into. I'm not sure we've actually acknowledged that before, but it does.
I'll take my chances.
Without saying it?
Yeah, I will take the risk. I would happily plunk down $20 in cash right now here today to go see Black Panther 2, to go see another Thor movie, to go see Spider-Man, to go see Black Widow. Any of these movies I'd be excited to see. I don't think I'm going to be, even Doctor Strange, I don't think that I'm going to need to see something in order to enjoy the movie.
To know what's going on.
It might supplement for sure. You know, there might be a little more protein in the streaming series than I would have otherwise, but I think I'm going to be just fine. Now, if I hear that these shows are great, then I might invest my time into it. But I just there's only so many things I can watch in a day. There's only so many calories I can burn. And right now, that's why I'm kind of on the fence about purchasing Disney Plus, is I definitely want to see The Mandalorian. Everything else, I'm like, I'm going to wait and see what the word of mouth is.
I get that. And you know what? I kind of look at it like, going back to Star Wars, right? It's like reading one of the books. If you read one of the books, then you're like, oh, okay, I know that particular thing, although it's Feige and he's going to make sure things tie in a little bit more. So when you're like, oh, that's that thing from the show that happened. The only thing, and it's definitely to sell tickets to Disney Plus. That's why he's saying something like this. But does he give something away a little bit? Because you go into a spoiler of Endgame, you know, it's like the Loki series is taking place because of what happens in that alternate timeline. So if that series relates to this new side, then there's going to be a lot of alternate timeline stuff that plays into the new phase of Marvel. If you would assume if Loki's going to be back involved, because he did in the other timeline.
I think it's a nice selling point. That's
you
like,
don't
hey,
care,
you got to watch. No, it's like, because when Rogue One came out, there was a book that came out around the same time called Catalyst, and that was like the lead up, the setup of how this guy played by Ben Mendelsohn came to power. And I had no intention of reading the book whatsoever. I happened to be doing a show in Atlanta a month before, and a fan actually brought me the book. And I was like, oh.
And a bag of baby
now
carrots
I gotta
right on
read
top.
it. And I did get some baby carrots that night, too. So I read Catalyst because I was flying around a lot. So I read Catalyst, and I really liked it, and it did supplement my knowledge of Rogue One. I don't think I would have liked Rogue One any less had I not read that. But I did enjoy the fact that I knew a little something extra about these characters.
For example, if my mother-in-law goes to see one of the new MCU movies with Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
It's like,
take me to the cinema.
What am I missing?
We called them talkies.
Pat, you should have watched the Loki series to figure out just what was going
Loki
on.
your dog?
It's really very good.
He's not the dog, Pat, as much as he is a wizard.
It's also just the way you say, Harry. Okay.
Harry,
It's so good.
please take
It's
this
your best.
woman as she has not watched Scarlet Witch.
Kristian's impression of a dying guy is available for children's parties.
But
You wanted a wizard, kids.
it's the truth. Anyway, so
But do you think they're going to make these so that your experience isn't going to be so great if you don't watch it? Do you think that's going to be like
that's why I brought up my mother-in-law, because there's no chance she's going to kick back and watch the Loki series. So you want to make sure that you don't lose the casual viewer. You're going after that. Those comments are to go after the hardcore Marvel fans.
Yeah.
That's exactly who that's for.
It's really good
it'll work.
people like me who are on the fence about watching these shows where it's like, oh,
but you're going to have to hear about it.
$7 a
You're
month.
going to have to hear about it. If I tell you, like if I say, dude, you got to watch the Loki series because certain things happen that are going to play off, and you'd be like, all right. You know, it's one of those things. But if I said to you, you'll enjoy it, but I don't think it's going to matter, then I think either way, from trusting people that you respect, that's where it's going to happen.
How long is it going to be 6? Are they going to keep Netflix?
I don't know if it's 6
us,
episodes.
Like,
No.
$6. Is it going to?
Yeah, that'll change.
$1 a year.
Yeah, but year 2 that'll change.
Yeah.
I think so, but it's also a good time if you're a streamer because there's so much competition. So you have your Apples of the world, and you have Amazon, and you have Netflix, and they're competing against each other where they weren't before, and so that might drive the market down a little bit. So it might not be Disney Plus is the one that makes it more available, but if you're like, you know what, I like that Jason Momoa.
I know. Well, there's
and he's on that show, and now it's only $2 a month.
Right. Well, there was another article that came out about Disney Plus that said, yeah, it's cheaper, but it also has the least amount of titles out of all of the streaming services. So you're getting per show, it's actually the most expensive when you look at the.
Yeah, you're getting some pretty good IP with that Disney
That's
Plus.
where I was going with it. The difference between that is there's so much crap on Netflix. There's a lot of great stuff on Netflix, great stuff, but there's so much crap.
Yeah,
And there's so much crap on these other things. And I don't know if there's crap on Disney yet. All I know so far is that there's a Star Wars series I want to watch. There's some Marvel stuff I want to watch. There is that Jeff Goldblum thing I want to watch.
And their library.
And you're all parents in this room.
Yes,
and
that's
name me
where I was
another
going.
streaming
Cinderella.
service that you can sit the tykes down in front of and just leave them be for the rest of the day. Netflix has a lot of stuff for kids, which I was
but not the
firsthand
Disney
introduced
catalog.
to
Yes.
in Seattle this week.
No, this is the first streaming service my wife has ever been looking for.
Right.
Because when even yesterday, she's like, it's taking forever to get here because
your wife is a child.
That's right. She wants to plop on Cinderella for or find Mickey Mouse Playhouse. And like I said to Kate, I said, please tell me that Doc McStuffins is on there. And she's like, yes, it is. So all those shows, those will all be there too. But it's going to be very interesting to see what those numbers are, and we'll know next week. But
I thought McDonald's really missed an opportunity by not having like a holiday breakfast thing called the McStuffins.
Oh, right.
And then I heard this Doc
McSpaghetti.
McStuffins thing, and I assumed that Doc McStuffins was like, oh, that's a new like character from McDonald's, and then I found out it was like a kid's show, and I'm like, really? McDonald's didn't have this like morning sausage biscuit with like cranberry sauce and like turkey and stuffing on it, and it's all about IP.
Doc McStuffins. All right, so let's move
Wait,
on.
I want to move on, but I also have to ask. I have to ask though. What do we know? What percentage of MCU movies and Star Wars movies? What percentage of the income is, or the people that go to the theaters is casual viewers versus like what is the numerical obligation to diehards
The actual
versus
movies?
casuals? Yeah,
The casual movie fan has to be huge because you can't
bigger than just the.
You can't break Avatar's record of $2.7 billion. If is that what you were gonna say?
Playing footsie. So
$2.7 billion is something like that.
Yeah.
You can't do that with just the hardcore fans. Now, repeat viewing will get you a lot of business.
Repeat viewing gets you a lot of business, and also the issue you have why you have to hook the hardcore fans is because they're the first ones to see it besides critics, and so they're going to inform the word of mouth as much as anybody else. So, like, if y'all are considering seeing an MCU movie, and Kristian and I go see Black Panther 2 opening night, we're like, no, y'all have to go see this.
Yeah. Right.
Like, this is not a wait for it.
Right.
If you're only going to see one MCU movie in the next 3 years in the theater, go see this one, and then obviously because y'all trust us with your dollar.
Yep. Sure do.
Well, look at Joker. Joker's another one, almost $1 billion because of
it won over the
hardcore
hardcore fans.
Hardcore fans. All right, moving on.
Okay, moving on.
We are going to get to some more stories here, and just before we do that, just to let everybody know, once again, go ahead and submit all your questions now because we're going to get to them in just around 10 or 15, and they can be about anything. By the way, I know that a lot of people like to have fun with the robot, but if you want to talk about anything movie related or TV related, whatever it is, we're gonna fire through your questions and make sure that we catch them all. And
just think about everything you could put in that McStuffins.
Do you want a McSpaghetti? You know that they have a McSpaghetti. That's gross.
That is not true.
That is,
oh,
but it's
shit,
not,
it's true.
It's not in this country.
It's not in this country, but
No.
it's
It's
still
also-
it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
What?
I mean, no, I know that McDonald's has different offerings if you go to Japan.
You know what they call a quarter pounder in Europe?
From a movie.
Yeah, it's from a movie.
Well done, Reservoir Dogs.
Mice and men. All right, let's hear the next story here.
Next one up, it's actually kind of two stories from Dark Horizons again.
Well, Dark Horizons actually is it kind of aggregates all of it, so the actual source itself.
Okay,
I'm not
sorry,
sure
but I'm saying we got it off the. Yeah. If they want to read the article I'm reading.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. It tells. Well, I want to make sure that we source the people
It's
that
the
it
dark
actually came
web.
from.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's-
Sorry,
oh.
that's on me because I didn't tell.
Okay, Yahoo Movies. Yahoo
there you
Movies.
go.
Speaking with Yahoo Movies, so Carrie Fisher's brother, Todd,
Everybody's brother is named Todd, by the way. Everybody has a brother named Todd.
She was going to be the big payoff in the final film. She was going to be the last Jedi, so to speak. That's cool, right? People used to say to me, why is it that Carrie never gets a lightsaber and chops up some bad guys? Obi-Wan was in his prime when he was Carrie's age. The truth is that J.J. Abrams was great friends with Carrie. He had an extraordinary sense of love for her. They had 8 minutes of footage. They grabbed every frame and analyzed it and then reverse engineered it and got into the story the right way. It's kind of magical. This is, in its own way, a payoff. Carrie is talking to us from beyond. The beautiful thing about the concept of the Force is that there's no real death. You just exist in another dimension.
It's awesome. This was something that was rumored for a bit, and it was even being set up through novels, right? Because Claudia Gray teased it in Bloodline with the connection to the Force. We saw it kind of capitalized a little bit in Last Jedi of how powerful she actually was in certain ways. And the way that they started to pitch the big three, Han had the most time in Force Awakens, and Luke had the most time in Last Jedi, and then we were going to get a full movie with Leia. That was something that we knew was coming, and the idea that she was actually going to be using a lightsaber and fighting and using the Force and teaching, maybe even teaching Rey, that would have been pretty phenomenal.
Would have been great to see her, to see Gary, her dog, have a lightsaber. Like
I don't know about that one.
The whole thing would have been so tremendous to watch. But I do like hearing Todd Fisher, who is, by and large representing her estate. I'd much rather hear somebody who represents a dead actor's estate say something like this, as opposed to, hey, James Dean's available. If you guys want to book him, he's not, he has no work lined up. So if you want to cast him,
we'll talk about that, I guess, a little later. But the lightsaber is the fact that she
James Dean's in a movie again.
I've told you what a deep fake is, Pat. It is not a real thing. But then again, what is real?
Anyway, going back to this, to see Leia using the Force more so than what she was doing flying through space and stuff, to be on the battlefield with a saber teaching. I thought that would have been a lot of fun for her.
It would have been like a Yoda lighting up the lightsaber moment where it's just that you may not be expecting it, and then all of a sudden it happens and it just blows your mind like, oh, this is why this person is so revered. We knew you were Force sensitive. We didn't know you could do this.
So, but I wonder though, because that vision was going to happen, that the footage that they use and the stuff that they use for her in the actual movie, because when you look at the trailer, it does seem like she's going to be pretty connected to the Force, and that she's going to be collaborating with Luke one way or another. Force Ghost, maybe not, but maybe they still have her.
Really, you got all that from the trailer?
From the when they said when they combined her voice with Luke's at the end, it almost sounds like she's coming from the beyond, and there's something else. I think they're going to do more with her than just her standing from the sidelines being the commander. I think she's going to have a stronger part.
No, I mean, I looked at her being like not just being the commander of the Resistance, but also just being a mentor, to the new, like being that final piece that is like, okay, now here's the baton. It's almost like Han was handing a baton to Rey, sort of. And then Luke is obviously literally handing a lightsaber over. She handed it to him first, and then then Luke is gone. He's toast, but he's still around. And then Leia's going to be that final bridge that just like links everybody together. And we all ride off into the sunset. We have a happy Walmart picture at the end of this movie. Which is what I want.
You want it to end happy.
I want there to be a party that makes the party on Endor look like a tiny gathering at Casa de Ellis on Sunday mornings. I want this thing I want Kiss to be playing at the end. I want Ewoks and Wookiees everywhere. I want confetti.
I want holograms of everyone who died in every film up in the trees. Just every Ewok, all of them waving.
And Ewoks just going at it, right? Yeah. In the bushes.
Yes.
It's not a party until an Ewok dies because they set off a firework by accident.
All right, let's say there's something going on with Ben Mendelsohn. What's going on?
Oh no, I was gonna say, do you want to talk about the attached to this is also the Mark Hamill thing?
Yeah, that one we'll save that one. Okay, but Ben Mendelsohn, who you just mentioned how much you love.
I love him, but I also have always in my head said Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, well,
that works. That'll work.
Ben Mendelsohn. What's he doing?
Well, let me get.
He said some stuff.
He said some stuff.
Is he defending Woody Allen?
No, he is not.
Yeah.
I was asked if
Jeff, we're gonna get your publicist in here.
But I was told that no one would bring that
Jeff,
up.
we're gonna move it.
Jeff, we have asked that you do not
Dumbledore represents Goldblum.
speak anymore.
Yeah, this is.
Wait for your show to debut on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
There's now a trap on your mouth.
It's like in Beetlejuice when he keeps throwing the things at Winona Ryder's mouth.
I was told.
Yeah. Basically, he made a comment to Metro about Spidey leaving the MCU. I'm gonna unbleep the things that
Please
are
do.
bleeped.
Yeah.
Shit, man, you can't lose Spider-Man from the Marvel universe. He's one of their
That's not his voice. Can you do Australian?
Australian.
You can do Australian.
I'm doing it from. I'm thinking of him
He
from
doesn't have
Bloodline. Yeah.
Do Australian. Come on, you can do that.
I don't know if I can. I
I'll
think
give it a
you
shot.
have too many Aussie fans.
If you
They're
do
gonna
it
be- they're gonna
bad,
be
it'll
like,
be
"That's-"
wonderful.
You
I
do it
know.
bad.
The more important thing is
I know
to
they
get
say like
the quote.
I know.
I think.
I think so too.
Don't let this
I know.
pressure.
All I know how to say Australian.
Go. You do impression. Everybody do impressions. Impressions rule.
Yeah.
Shit, man, you can't lose Spider-Man from the Marvel universe. He's one of their absolute motherfucking porn stars.
Oh.
Boy, I could name 30 that you could quite comfortably lose before you start thinking about losing Spider-Man.
Name them.
In fact, I cannot think of a single character who's more important to Marvel than Spider-Man. You've got Hulk, you've got Thor. None of them are as important as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
None of them.
Throw heat, man.
I love how passionate he was.
Yeah.
Though,
But
to it.
A porn star? How is that a...
Hey, maybe I mean, could have said
In
rock
the-
star, but maybe to him, porn star is
In
bigger than a
the
rock
adult film world,
Yeah.
the porn star is like the
star.
Yeah,
The star.
I like how passionate he was about it, and I like that he can talk about it now after the deal is done. He didn't say it like during the middle of it when that would have been bad, because not bad, but you didn't necessarily need one of your actors talking about it. But he gave his thoughts about it. It's like, yeah, they needed to get it done. I think everybody wanted that deal to get done. The fact that it got done, Spider-Man for this particular universe, you need him. I don't know where he's going to stand in after 2 films, because after that, it's probably going to go away.
I think
think
Spider-Man
so?
will be around for a while. I think
You think they'll figure out another deal?
every 2 years we're gonna go through this thing like, oh, Spider-Man's leaving the MCU, and then a week later, oh, they got everything worked. Oh, so
They
all
figured
my
it out
do I
again.
delete my tweets?
Right.
Like what? It just
Right.
it just becomes so exhausting after a while. Just let them do their business and let the lawyers figure it all out, and then Spider-Man's gonna be around.
All right, is that all the big stuff for sure?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can cover
that's all
this.
the stuff. Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's move back. I think it's that time, Mark. I know you love it. I think it's that time. I hear it. You hear it?
Mascara. That's
They're
the only
back.
thing I can say.
The robot is back, Soggy Mini Muffins. So the Soggy Mini Muffins robot is back. The genius that is. It is back. So we are going to be taking your questions right now. We'll be talking about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to go through streamlabs.com/Schmoedown and Superchat, and we will, anything, you guys get to dictate the conversation. Now, who was I talking to about? Tom Chattelbash. By the way, Tom Chattelbash, who was one of the original
Sorry, what's that
YouTubers.
name?
Celebrity
Tom
YouTuber.
Chattelbash.
How doesn't that sound like
Chattelbash?
a Harry Potter name?
Gentlemen, yeah.
Chattelbash, you go to Slytherin.
He was one of the first YouTube guys that were doing reviews when Mark and I started, right?
Very
And
nice fellow,
He was.
yeah.
And he took a break, went to college. Very nice guy. Sat down with him yesterday for about an hour. He was in New York, but we did like
Is
a
he
Skype
British?
interview. No, he's from New York.
Chattelbash.
Long
He
Island.
It should be. The family heritage has to be.
Yeah. He's-
Sounds like English
Tom
royalty.
Chattelbash.
He's great. Jeremy Johnson and I were talking about him, and I even said to him as much. He comes from an age when it was so pure. You know, like the YouTube age. And it's almost like Billy Madison grabbing the kid by the cheeks.
Stay here.
Stay.
As long as you
don't leave. Don't leave. and anyway, so talking to him about, he was asking me about this network, and what I said to him was, well, it's cool because there are times that fans want you to talk about certain things, and you don't know because you're in this rhythm, but they get to act as the executive producers. They get to move and say, okay, well I really haven't heard your thoughts about this. What do you think, Mark? And we get into that. Maybe we wouldn't have thought that. That's what I think that this has done, and that it is. And people said that they feel that they are involved in the show. So I'm glad that, and I'm glad that YouTube implemented this, because this wasn't around like.
So what's Chattelbash doing now?
Chattelbash
he's
is
in New
going
York?
back
Is
to his
he-
channel.
He's
going back to his
taking
channel.
tea.
He's taking tea.
Spot of tea.
That's right.
He's the Duke of Gloucestershire.
Yes.
I want to go to
He's
Streamlabs.
racing his corgis.
Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Nick Piccolo. He says, hey, crew, Kristian,
Hey.
if this helps, my last name is pronounced the same as the flute. Or it's said like Piccolo. But don't sweat it. It happens all the time. Have you guys seen the Watchmen TV show yet? The music is great, and I love the ties to the comic. I watched the first episode, loved it. Did you see it yet?
I watched the first episode, loved it.
Loved it, right?
Have not seen it since. I think I'm just I got it on the DVR, and it's probably going to be like a just one of those Sunday afternoons when my football team just lets me down again.
Yeah.
This Sunday. Yeah. Boom.
We have a bye week, losers.
Yeah, well.
We ain't losing this week. Guarantee it.
I really liked it so far. You guys get a chance to see it yet?
Nope.
David, you watch it yet? No. Regina King, she is such a rock star because for her,
you are so lucky you didn't say
I
porn
didn't say
star.
that. A rock star.
Yeah.
She is so good in general, but she's never done a role like this. And to watch this, to see you pull this off, she pulls it off right off the bat. You believe what she's doing, and it does tie in. I'm hooked, and this was something I wasn't sure if my wife was going to like. So we started watching. She said, "This is very interesting." And she was into it too. So we're gonna watch. We'll watch
deep.
another one.
I think it's got a lot of historical value to it.
Yeah.
It's a great, deep, in depth kind of watch.
Yeah, so. I likes it a lot. Okay, let's see. Now we're gonna go to Motorola. Good old Joey. Can't wait to see you guys answer my question at 8 tonight. Thanks to.
I don't think that was shade. He probably can't watch till 8.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks to this frame rate, just giving some shit.
It was shade.
Well, I was giving him some practice. I watched
Shady,
Roxy.
shady.
I watched Roxy's live stream. Because I support Roxy. She's my girl. So I was watching her live stream, and Joey kept throwing his thing, and he's like, "Did you see that SEN's sound was down today? Did you see that? Hey, just let you." And he comes back. He's like, "Guess what? Their sound was down. Did you know that? Did you know that their sound was down? I was down. It was down for like 5 minutes. It was down." And I was like, "You son of a bitch!" but yeah, Joey's
just
awesome.
like that. Like in the old days, like if you had to like send a marathon runner from like one town to the other one to like whisper secrets, and so you just have to like send
That's
a
why
runner.
It's called a marathon.
Send a raven. Let them know the sound is down.
Dickie has a joke about marathons. He's like, it should have, like, the guy ran from like Athens to Marathon or whatever it was. That's why it's called a marathon. It ended up being 26.2 miles and died at the end of it.
Oh, that's right. You know who didn't die? Our friend Perry Nemiroff ran the New York City Marathon.
She did, yeah.
She ran it. She completed it. We're having a beer to celebrate tomorrow.
Good.
You're all invited.
Well, I don't know her.
You know me. You're a great time.
I don't know her.
She also is not supposed to know that I was ever
Judging by Comic-Con Kate, Perry you, Kate Mulligan, have never shied away from meeting new people.
That is true.
It was funny.
You throw Kate into a room where she doesn't know anybody, they're all best friends.
She did joke about it on live. It was really funny. Like, she's like, "I don't think Fernandez knows who I am."
No, he doesn't.
We
know officially he does not know.
No, because I think it was like I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I said, "Well, Kate," and he goes, "Who's Kate?" I was like,
You know what? You know what that means to me? Secret weapon.
Yeah.
You are the annexation of Puerto Rico in the film Little Giants. You're the secret play that we bust out at the end.
So good.
I said basically, I was like, this is a very loose analogy, but I was like, Kristian snuck me into a party and then left, and I'm like, I've got it.
That's right.
How is Brett Sheridan at a social gathering?
It's the same way he is when fans ask him to take a selfie.
I bet you he's cooler and more
I mean, if it's
collective.
people I know,
No, mostly these are like your wife's friends, or like maybe you guys have like a Christmas party, and you know a couple people.
He's like, it's my wife's friends. How do you feel about it? Gangbang.
Or like other kids. Do you sling?
Yeah.
Like, what's the vibe? Are you hanging out by the bar the whole time?
Yeah, well, I mean, liquid courage does help in those situations.
I like when Brett's a little uncomfortable on a question. He goes, really? I just heard the question.
That sounds like a coked up mouse.
I'm trying to think of the last time I was invited to anything. I'm like this made up situation of the party you always go to. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
How are you at those parties? I couldn't tell you because no one wants me there.
My favorite is when a kid's invitation says it's a drop-off party. That's my favorite.
We don't want you there, loser. Don't eat all the pizza.
Start? When do I get to start?
Oh, that's the best.
The drop-off?
Yeah, because talking to parents you don't really know, and
Right.
I've gotten to the point in my life I don't want to meet new people.
What I love about that now, though, is my wife, she goes, it's just going to be a bunch of moms there. I'll go. And I go, you are right, because I have gone to those before, and I'm just sitting there and I'm going, Hey, Claire.
my brother told me this great story. He's going to get interrupted by a robot. My niece is 5, and so I'm asking Robbie. I'm like, hey, so how's it hanging with with the other parents? He's like, I have a few that now we're all kind of like in a mini clique together because my brother's a musician, so like they can talk music and it's like be normal. He said that there's this one dad that they all kind of giggle at. There's a bouncy house a few weeks ago for a birthday party, and my brother and he took the niece and. She had a great time, and this kid comes out of the bouncy house and just pukes everywhere.
Oh, nice.
And the dad said, "Of course."
Yeah, those things happen. I want to get to a couple of these super chat questions here. Hey, and Soggy Mini Muffin didn't interrupt you, so there you go.
Thank you, Soggy.
Okay, here we go. We're going to get to Ryan Auman over super chat, who says, "Will Dune beat Blade Runner 2049 at the box office?" Yeah, I think so. 2049 didn't do very well.
I'm looking it up right now.
It didn't do very well, and I think that this movie, I think they're going to market it more because, like I said, whatever it was yesterday or the day before, Blade Runner wasn't a massive hit in the theater. It was a cult classic, and people weren't like super stoked about that movie. They put way too much money in that movie. That movie should have been a lot cheaper than it was to make.
Worldwide, it did $260 million.
And it probably cost that much to make.
It did just under $100 million domestic, 168 international.
Yeah, it'll beat that.
Okay, so you think Dune?
Yeah, I think they're going
to a property that I would say is on par as far as how much people know with Blade Runner, as far as brand recognizability. I think Dune is, I think Dune is in the fight, but I think Blade Runner set a nice bar for Dune.
I think that Dune, it all depends on the trailer itself and how Denis shoots the movie. The cast is incredible. If it looks like a new Star Wars and it's more marketable commercially, then yeah, it'll beat Blade. Blade looked like a film noir. You're not going to get a massive audience with that.
You know what Blade Runner really missed out on? Corporate restaurant tie-in. They should have had like the 2049 McStuffins.
That's
right. They could have gotten at McDonald's.
This is the sausage biscuit of the future.
Doc McStuffins. All right, let's move on over here.
Hello, I'm Dr. McStuffins. I will be
operating on your stuffed animals.
There's
John.
Is that what he is?
Yeah,
no,
she.
That's what.
She
she.
She helps toys.
She
helps toys.
performs appendectomies
she helps these little toys.
God, that would have been great if I would have said that word right.
When they run out of batteries and stuff, she makes sure she's like, "Come on, stupid, put
I
some
saw an
batteries."
episode where like one of them didn't brush their teeth and they were smelly.
Oh yeah,
and
the brother.
Yeah, and then they got salami stuck in their teeth. And like,
Yeah.
he's smelly. That was.
I've seen that one. That's season 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
John,
deep.
John,
Yeah.
the 1996. Have you ever talked to Star Wars Theory for the Schmoedown? I know he lives in Canada, but I think he'd be really good. I love Star Wars Theory. I think he's a good dude. I ran into him a handful of times. We follow each other on the social meets. I saw him at Celebration. He's a good dude. I like him a lot. If he was interested in competing in the Star Wars division, because we only do a few a year, yeah, all he's got to do is ask, or shit, I just have to ask him. Would love to have him on. I think he's a great guy.
I think we'll have Brett broker the conversation.
Yes, of course.
You're good at a party. You're good in a room.
I work the room.
Win a goldfish here. Win a goldfish here. Win a goldfish here.
Just when you thought you left it all behind.
Nah. Well, he's coming back on soon. We're gonna have Dagnino on. Dagnino has yet to make his appearance on this network.
Oh, is he invited?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
We had a great time
staple.
we were roommates in Orlando.
Yeah.
Me and Tom.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
I love the way he dresses.
Yeah, he's you should have seen what he wore the same thing he wore to the Critics' Choice Awards to the Irishman premiere, and we walked in. He goes, "So let me ask you a question. How many compliments do you think I got in the jacket within like the first 20 minutes?" I go, what? He goes, "What do you set the over?" And I go, 11, and I'm going over.
Yeah.
And within the first 5 minutes, love the jacket, love the jacket. Yeah, he'll be on for sure. I'm getting him on. Kaiser's coming on. Cushing's coming on. I guess I can announce this next Thursday. Sinead DeFries is coming on.
Oh,
so
nice.
Cool.
I heard Mova was
Hey
on.
guys, I was wondering why
good.
is no one talking about Harriet? Just saw it and it was amazing movie. Have you seen it and what's your thoughts on it?
Harriet is a movie that I am actually dying to see. I've seen the trailers for it. I have not had a chance to see the movie yet. I didn't even see a screening for it. What I'm waiting for, I'm sure a screener will come. And once the screener comes, I think we could probably review it on
Yeah, I
this show.
think it was I thought it was coming out. I didn't know it was coming out this weekend. or last week, and I thought it was a Thanksgiving movie. But okay,
the screener will come in, and when the screener does, maybe we'll watch it here, and then we'll review it.
You love the idea of us watching movies here.
You got to see the screen, and the sound
does
is
it work?
amazing. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. We're trying to figure out how to get. David and RB3 have been like working magic to make sure that we get all this working.
Would you give them the mantle of geniuses?
They're getting there. They're getting there. David definitely is for sure. And RB3 tomorrow. I think on Sunday is gonna become the genius also because I think he's gonna fix the frame rate.
Good. So now David can look his fiance in the eye and say, "Honey, I'm on a level with muffins."
That's right. That is absolutely right. But yes, Harry, it is something that we're gonna see for sure.
Definitely gonna see.
Internet Today, who says, congrats on the launch. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Corinne D, hi, everyone. But special hello to Mark.
Oh.
Can't wait to travel from Boston to New York City to see your stand-up again. Mark is going to be doing stand-up, and I think maybe Brett and Kate, we'll see. Maybe January 25th. January 24th. Depends on who's going to be there.
We'll see how the tryouts go.
January 24th, and then the Schmoedown is January 25th. If you're going to be in the New York area, please go and get those tickets. The Schmoedownlive.com. New York is my favorite shows that we've done thus far.
Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn was one of the best ones so far, so it is going to be crazy. Energy in the roulette is awesome. There's only about 100 tickets left, so the Schmoedownlive.com. Get your tickets today. Okay, now we get to Haskell 420, Tuesday on the History Channel. Kings of Pain 2. Outdoors man gets stung by the worst insects and animals on Earth to create a better pain scale index. YouTube channel Brave Wilderness has him doing it. Nuts, but LOL. I actually saw this. I saw a trailer for it. They let a snake bites him.
What?
Yeah,
I'm so terrified of snakes.
Yeah, no, this snake. I saw this. They posted it in the Schmoedown Entertainment Network Facebook group, and I watched that clip, and it was it's pretty insane for sure. Ed probably.
Y'all ever been bit or stung by something that's like really scary?
Not.
No, I had a friend who almost died from a rattlesnake bite.
Really?
Truly.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I was thinking because yesterday I was at the zoo with my kid, and I was thinking like, if you have ever been with a snake in the wild, there's no way you can come into this snake house.
Yeah,
it's just.
I got super freaked out. I was running on. I was running up a canyon. Running up a canyon. There's like a hill. It's a thing. It's like a hike thing. Yeah. I was running the trail, and then I saw this straight up hill. Not a lot of people were going, and I was like, oh sweet, I can do like 3 or 4 wind sprints up and down this thing, and I'm gonna get my heart rate way in the red. This is gonna be great.
Yes.
Do the first one, bank up, and it was just so narrow. I'm like, there's so many snakes that I'm not seeing right now. And so I ran fast. I ever had my life downhill. Almost fell going downhill because just the thought of running into a snake.
It's so amazing. Yeah. My son, he's almost 2 years old, and he was
the
standing
IRS is breathing down my neck like it's some kind of personal vendetta against Bobby.
Bobby Finstock.
Finstock also Kristian. Not sure if you've seen this, but Disney Japan made a comic version of Bloodline with Harloff Minor.
No way, really?
Oh wow!
I didn't know.
You should know about what's going on in your own plan. What kind of governor are you?
I didn't know. It's Japanese animated comic book. I got to check
really
that out.
You're a
Send me a screenshot.
Tiger.
Send me a screenshot.
Yeah,
please.
I was gonna say my son must speak parcel tongue or something because these snakes. I'm not kidding you. Every window we went to would do like. But they would do this. They would like be laying down and then they'd go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's oh well. Yeah.
Craziest thing when you go to a zoo is like it's a small little enclosure and you're like, I can't see the snake.
Yeah.
That's you outside all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Looking for your golf ball.
Come
on.
Gamma Comics Collectibles says, "Hey Mark, you're the best, man. Will you or the Schmoedown ever have a show in Detroit? Congrats on finishing the first week. Fix the." LOL.
Comedy Castle is my stop whenever I go to Detroit. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. It's a great venue. Hoping to be back in 2020. It's in Royal Oak, so it's like near Detroit.
Have we hit the amount of questions that everybody's hit at least every state yet of where
Are
do
you
ever
gonna be there?
think of having one in New Mexico?
Trying to think. I don't think I've ever done stand. No, I have done stand-up in New Mexico. I think the state that I thought of first was South Carolina. I've done a lot of stand-up in Vermont. I've done like 3 colleges in Vermont.
I'd like to do. I mean, I've
never done South Carolina.
Next season,
Charleston would be fun.
Well, you and I have talked about, and again, like nothing is finalized, but it was.
These are emails,
right? New York, Atlanta, L.A., Boston, Tampa, Chicago. Anaheim because of Celebration this year.
Yeah.
But those are majority of
places.
There's a
stage. Yeah. It's if there's a stage available, it's hard to keep keep me away.
And what's this? Video Punks. How's everybody doing on No Nut November? The hell is that? There was no shave November. What's No Nut?
You can't
low load.
You can't release.
Doing terrible then.
Yeah.
Ricardo Vasquez.
He just flew low, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Don't anyone look.
I'm hanging in.
Yeah, sorry. Tom hanging.
I'm hanging in.
It's a thing? Yo, I'm winning.
I'm building some momentum here in the early going.
Does Darth Vader have eyebrows? Yes or no? Well, that's from Ricardo Vasquez. No way. I'm burnt off.
Yeah.
Toast. No way
Burned
those
his
are growing
face
back.
up.
But did he get microbladed?
No, he's
I
not.
don't know if he
Not coming back.
Might have some eyebrows.
Might have a half brow.
Yeah.
Dylan Camacho.
Okay.
Christian posted a couple of weeks ago that if a city can get 200 plus people to commit, that they do that city. Please elaborate how to prove that we have the people. Thank you, Dylan. So
Come on, Williamsburg, Virginia.
that was actually our events coordinator, Jonathan, who is heaven sent. The guy is so good. He monitors the Schmoedownlive.com, and there is a portion of the website that you can suggest your city. So if enough people suggested, I would get a ticket if you guys came to so and so.
Yeah.
Then we're like, well, wait a minute. Boston is one of those cities. It's like, okay, so many people signed up for Boston.
Ever think of coming to Williamsport for Schmoedown during the Little League World Series?
That would be fun.
I like
We
almost
always have
every
one
day.
day where there are no games being played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I lay awake at night always thinking about that.
That's actually a great call because the parents need something fun to do at night. You know, you drop the tykes off and they play their baseball games, and you come back. The kids go to bed at what, 5, 6 p.m.
So
Yes, that's when children go to bed. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's marketing also. We got to the show we just have to market the show better.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing I think more people need. My favorite things, especially when the last one we did was where the hell was it? Orlando, when we went, and there were so many people who had never been before that came up to me and were like, I've never been to one of these before. Didn't even know this existed. This is crazy. I love this. This is insane. Like, how do I get involved in this? How do I watch this? And I was like, but they never knew about it. So because a friend had to tell them about it. So
Have you ever considered like selling out Madison Square
Garden?
Garden?
I thought about
like
it. I know. Trust me.
Because if you
there's no chance you do Madison Square Garden and somebody doesn't scream out like, who directed? That was Steven Spielberg.
It would be funny, like if we just plunk down whatever the insane amount of cash is to rent Madison Square Garden for a night, and our 700 people show up, and it's just so cavernous. But we played the Garden.
Yeah,
that's all anybody's gonna remember.
That's true. Okay, Skulls Jar, 1999.
Coming
Ellis.
out of the tunnel would have been
So the Edinburgh Festival. Details? Do you know Frank Sinatra? Oh, Frank Sinatra. Frank Skinner. Wow. He's my favorite UK stand-up. What's everyone else's?
Frank Skinner?
Yeah, Frank Skinner.
Don't believe I have come across
Love the show
Frank
from Wales.
Skinner. But yeah, working on some Scotland stuff. Keep you posted. The
favorite stand-up right now, Bill Burr?
In the UK, I met Jimmy Dore about 6-8 months ago. He was a super nice guy. And a fan of ours brought me a book that Jimmy Dore had written just randomly 2 weeks. And then I was talking to Jimmy Dore. I'm like, oh, a fan brought me your book. And sorry, Jimmy Carr, not Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Carr. And I've also recently been going down a rabbit hole of Rowan Atkinson. His stand-up is like the sketches that he did on stage that are pretty much by himself. Occasionally another actor would come, but it's usually him alone. He is just, he's on another level of funny. Rowan Atkinson, look up his stand-up. It's brilliant.
This one's easy for me.
Who you got?
No
Chappelle.
question. Eddie Izzard.
Oh, wow.
This is before he was big in acting. This is Dressed to Kill. He's dressed as, and he calls
unreal
himself.
good.
It's the best. It's the smartest. He does an entire bit in French. He does an entire bit that's silent. It's Eddie Izzard for me, and he does it all dressed as a woman.
Mm-hmm. You got, Brett, favorite UK comic?
Oh God! I mean, if I were to pick one, I would say I can't think of any.
John Cleese? Does that count?
Yeah. Yes, there you go. John Cleese.
Billy Connolly?
I've been recently
Billy
watching.
Connolly's
I was
pretty
telling you that I've been recently watching this unauthorized Monty Python kind of thing. It's on the YouTube. Yeah, pretty good. Not YouTube, but not Netflix. Pretty good. So I'd say Monty Python.
Yeah, I would go Cleese.
That works.
Okay, guys, still going through the super chats, and once again, thank you for everybody who's putting the Schmoebot out there. It's the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Okay, let's get to the next question here. This is Jenny Lawson. Hello, Jenny Lawson. This has been the highlight of my day. Great laughs on my birthday. Are there any possibilities you will come to Austin, Texas? For
Happy
the Schmoedown?
birthday,
Happy birthday,
Jenny.
Jenny Lawson.
Austin,
Happy birthday.
Texas. I think that it's probably either Dallas or Austin is probably the next place that we will go.
Austin would be fun for South by Southwest.
Yeah. So very, very possible, Jenny, for sure.
I'll be there.
I had a lot of fun when I was in Texas for the Schmoedown.
You'll be there for South by Southwest, right?
For South by Southwest, yeah.
Nick Cole.
Something like that aren't hotel rooms completely expensive then?
Maybe.
I mean, that's like going for a time like that is like it's like going to Comic-Con.
Well, it's also going to be like for Tampa when we go for WrestleMania. It'll be tough.
Yeah.
Nick Cole. Go Spurs, go. Also wanted to show support. Still using your old movie review playlist as my background noise for work, fire, side chat. LOL.
Go Spurs, go. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much. And for those, and that's why we want to make sure that we incorporate more reviews on this thing. That's why Mark reviewed Dr. Sleep today. I got a chance to review Ford versus Ferrari and Last Christmas. We'll be doing more reviews as we see them on the show. Joe S.
When did you shoot your load with Ford versus Ferrari?
Yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
You couldn't save No Nut November. Really not applying to Harlow.
You know, one, I want to get the review out. Two, I forgot that you were coming back on Friday. I thought you were on Monday.
What chemistry?
I know, what chemistry?
What a vibe between these two.
I know.
Not around for 3 days, and the guy buries me.
I know.
I love at Comic-Con, you and I are together, and like every time Kristian texts you, there's like an audible.
Hey, I think I am going to bring 8 people to the show.
Well, no, I'm not going to go at all.
And then you were like, Jesus, he's really mad that we're at Marie Callender's or wherever the fuck it was that we were.
Marie Callender's?
Where were we?
Yeah.
You're like, really? Like,
oh, no. I know where you went.
IMDb.
No. It was we were going to the party, and you guys. That's why I wasn't mad.
Jumper.
I wasn't mad.
You said,
you
were mad.
Not mad, just like because I had her on the list. And how long did you finally get there? It was a process to get in.
But I'll tell you what, I don't ever pass up a chain restaurant with Mark.
Plain Jumper is great.
All right,
let's like, but I got you the list. They're gonna throw me overboard.
Yeah, that's true. They did. Joe S. I like Lloyd's chances with Mary more than an Endgame actor getting an Oscar. Who's Lloyd?
From Dumb and Dumber. He likes
like
Lloyd's
chances.
chances with Mary
Let's talk
Swanson.
about the cow being thrown over the castle. LMAO.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest parts of any movie ever.
We were talking about that the other day.
I
think it might have been on live, but it is. Yeah, it wasn't live. We
movie
showed the clip.
start to finish. It's comedy perfection.
They're throwing everything. Roosters, all of it. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, back to super chats here because there are a lot of them coming in. I want to make sure that we get. Holy crap! We got to get a lot of these.
Oh, jeez.
Did you do an after show with the rest of the questions?
Chats.
No, I brought them. I actually finished a lot of them. The ones from that day, I did them the next day. I did them the next day on the show. All of them.
Young man?
Yes, I did all of them.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. Now we're going to get to ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. And by the way, Joe, I think that it's going to be very hard for Endgame actors getting Oscar nominations. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Did you read my Gary Busey request from Streamlabs? Not yet. I'll make sure that I'm going to go over to Streamlabs in a second, and I will do the Gary Busey.
I think an MCU actor could get a nomination. I don't think they're going to get.
It's going to be hard.
W.
It's going to be hard. Jordan Rains just adopted 3 kids.
Oh my God!
Disney Plus is happening in our household. Love the show. P.S. Fairly certain my wife has a crush on Mr. Wiggly.
100%.
Here's somebody you can talk to at a party. He's got 3 little ones. You got some kids.
Yeah.
You go to a party.
To me, if
His
you
wife
adopted,
would talk to me.
This person is a special human because if he adopted 3 kids, that means he adopted siblings, which means that he got kids all sorts of different
That's
ages.
really
So,
awesome.
like you're an incredible human.
Good for
I think
you.
you're
That's
reading
really cool.
into it. He could have just. He
Right.
could.
I don't.
He just
if
wanted-
he said
yeah.
just adopted 3 kids, he wouldn't have said just.
Well,
Clarify for me, sir.
they send them to you like Amazon does.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of boxes, and like it's just one
really
size
cool.
box. You don't know how big the kid is.
This is a good man.
That's really awesome.
It's like the Casper beds of kids. Like they send it in a box, and there's your kid.
You are.
Haskell 420 stars making Weeds, the sequel show with Mary Louise Parker. We had that
yes.
on the
Yes,
list. We
we
just
did.
didn't get to it.
Great to see the schmoes back in action. I like chicken, I like liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
Who gave Mr. Whiskers keys to the robot?
Did you ever watch Weeds, by the way?
No, but friends with obviously Brett Ernst was in
Yeah, he was
Weeds.
in Weeds, but never-
Kevin Nealon,
Yeah.
funny in Weeds.
What's wrong?
No, just Brett Ernst.
Yeah.
We did stand up with him back in
Wrong
the
with
day.
Brett?
He
No,
does
How
like
does
to
Eliza
talk.
feel about him?
He does like to talk.
How's Liza feeling about
What did you?
I did the weeds. I can't remember. We didn't do the whole. How many seasons was it? It was a lot, but I think we did at least. And my camera's on. We did at least 3 seasons.
You guys you won't believe what Brett's face looks like while he was saying that.
I have got egg on my face.
I'm curious to see a lot of these seasons, a lot of these shows are doing certain things, spin off to see if they can bring back the audience that loved them from beforehand. Maybe there's a fresh take on it, so that's what they're going to try.
My question is, will that show work now that weed is legal in a lot?
Well, I also thought that about High Maintenance.
Oh, I've been indulging in the weed a little bit. Yeah, I do. And I did a big edible on Tuesday night because I had nothing to get up for.
Are you okay today? I mean, truly, that
I did a 5 milligram one last night. I just do it to help me get off to dreamland, and oh man, it's been fantastic this week.
Really, I feel like I feel like the new stuff is so different than like what was going on in college that like I feel like. There was, and this is going to have to be one of my new stand-up bits at some point, but I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be the first person to ever die from weed. And then because I was so high, I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Like it was just, but it was so strong.
Strong. I remember when I had an edible, I don't do the edibles, I do like the one-hitters, because still the edible at a Bruce Springsteen concert, right beforehand, it was me and Citizen and you remember Mark Ellis?
Yeah.
And we took... Mark didn't. I did. Me and Citizen took these edibles, and I remember just sitting there, boom, and I was like, "Whoa!" It took like a brick. Someone hit me in the side of the head with a hammer.
I kept being like, "I got pop rock face. I got pop rock face." Like my face just felt like pop rock.
Okay, everybody can play. Name the movie this quote is from.
Okay,
I was at a Doobie Brothers concert, and I could see the music flowing into me. It was flowing into me.
As a Step Brothers?
Name the movie.
Of Mice and Men.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
All right, moving on here.
I love
John
that
Keeley has
Great.
one of the most. This is a tough question. Think about it. You got at least 2 minutes to think about it.
Okay.
He says, "Woo." Okay, moving on. Haskell 420. Yo, Ellis, thoughts on the dead James Dean being cast?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Now we can get into this.
I think it's hysterical. That's. How do you feel if you're an actor who's alive and you lose the role to a dead guy?
Yeah.
Like, I'm moving out to Hollywood to make my dream come. Oh, James Dean took my role.
Yeah.
But I think that for this one in particular, it's a stunt. Like, you look at the resume of the filmmaker, and it's like, it's a stunt, it's a publicity thing, which I understand all of that. It's just, I think it's like, is James Dean going to have, like, a sex scene in the movie? Right. Is that necrophilia, technically? Like, where are we drawing the line with these movies?
Yeah. You went there.
But the stunt itself, though, is going to get people to see it, and that will also create jobs around that role that other people will be able to do, because more people are going to want to see this movie. This movie, because the draw of it now with James Dean, a lot of people are going to see it, and the technology it's going to further and put in more movies into play and be able to do different things. Like I said, I always use the young John McClane and do another Die Hard adventure with him as like a 35-year-old guy.
The big difference with that is that Bruce Willis can be like, yeah, that's cool with me.
Totally. That's the difference. There is an ethical question.
No, but I'll give you the ethical question also too, because Jane Seymour was on Collider Live and Roxy asked her, right? She said
Jane Seymour on Collider Live?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
So and Roxy asked her about Christopher Reeve.
She asked her about her necklace collection.
Always keep your heart open.
But she said
you never know what might come in.
That's right. But she was friends with Christopher Reeve, and she said, "How do you think Christopher Reeve would feel about this?" And first thing Jane Seymour said was, "Well, will his family get paid?" Yeah. And she said, "Yeah, because it's the estate." Then he'd probably be okay with it.
Jane Seymour says it.
I'm just saying though, like if the estate is cool with it and the estate sells, anyway, it's a whole big debate. Let's move on. Suthris, hey Mark, are you excited for BG's new coaster next year?
BG's new coaster. Oh, Busch Gardens has a new roller coaster. I have not heard about this, but yes, I'm excited, and I look forward to making my triumphant return back to Busch Gardens. Grew up 5 minutes from it in the shadow. You could hear the train right next to the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. You could smell that delicious smell of yeast and beer in the morning, and I look forward to taking the Tykes there. Hope maybe even this year.
Yep. Kyle Grandinetti. Ellis, so excited to see you in D.C. My mom and I can't wait. We're going to the 7:30 show with the meet and greet again. And that's from Kyle Grandinetti.
Looking forward to it, Kyle.
That's
Your
awesome.
Mom is the best, and you're a close second.
DBNBA does flashback of Luke Kylo scene in Last Jedi count as lightsaber on lightsaber contact? It's a good. That's good. I mean, I guess they cross saber for like a second, right?
What do you think, Brett, Kate? Is that lightsaber on lightsaber action?
I mean, it does. He technically.
No, not November.
Technically, it does.
Well, no, technically it doesn't.
What do you mean? Lightsaber on lightsaber, technically it counts.
No, because he wasn't there.
No. He's talking about in the flashback scene. He's talking about the
I've
flashback
got an edible for
Oh,
you.
yeah, that counts. Yeah, that counts, yeah.
I've got an edible for you.
Oh, he's got an edible for you.
Okay.
That's it.
I will not take it.
Oh.
Like, it's one of
Did that get shut down? I didn't finish it. It said, I'll have to do as Gary Busey. I've got an edible.
Soggy mini muffins will be jealous when I slap my slong on the table and the room shakes.
The schlong thing is just something else. Huh?
Yeah, it's good that we're encouraging it.
Yeah. Well, why not? Corey did that. Oh no, he didn't do that. What was better? The first time you remember seeing, or your first time doing the dirty? First time doing.
When your dog wakes you up in the morning right after eating its own poop, lick, lick. Okay. Woof, bark, woof, woof, bark. Heinous dog fart, woof, lick. Woof, 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 woof.
Look at Brett.
Interesting take.
Woof, meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Ellis, don't go insane just yet.
Look at this.
When Mark's face looks the most normal, that's when you know he's the most mad. He was just truly like.
No, it's true. It's because he's in his head. He's going, well, I did set the boundaries.
It just now in my head, I just have this beach, this island that I go to, like Milton at the end of Office Space. Yeah. I'm just soon as the robot turns on, I'm just like, I was told I would get a margarita.
I don't know what Corey meant though. The first film. Okay, what was better, the first film you remember seeing, or your first time doing the dirty? Doing the dirty.
Yeah, jeez.
No, if you're a girl, the first time doing the dirty is not that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, doing the dirty is pretty fun.
First
but
time.
I just don't remember the first. Like if you were to give me like a theater experience, you're really excited around the same time.
Yeah.
Then that might be the better comparison. So if you put like me in the theater Phantom Menace, the anticipation before that versus the first time, both are a little bit of a letdown. But one was a lot longer than the other one. Right. So I would take the Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. Yeah. This is for Ellis because maybe for you guys, this is not for me. But Brandon Ninja says, has anyone ever had experiences with the paranormal?
Brad, I'll let you feel this one first.
I don't think. I've never really felt any of that.
What do you think, Kate?
Yeah.
I had something happen. I don't know how to explain it, but my grandmother died in 2005 or 2000. Yeah, sorry, 2006.
Cue the robot.
Yeah. My grandmother died in 2006 on February 5th, and then the next year my sister was pregnant, and the morning of February 5th. My bedroom door slammed open. I lived with two other people. There was nobody there, and my sister had gone into labor. And I don't know. It just felt like a wake up thing, and I cannot explain to you why my door did that, but it's to this day stayed with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ellis, tell the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a ghost story. It's like sleep paralysis kind of thing.
I hate sleep paralysis.
I've had that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had sleep paralysis.
But you thought it was a lady.
No, it is a lady. That's the vision you see. Is you see this woman dressed in all black comes in and suffocates you for 15 seconds.
Oh, I don't have that sleep paralysis.
Oh, no?
I've had where I felt like I was being sucked into a bed, and it was on like a choir tour where you stay in other people's houses.
Yeah.
And where I felt like the bed was sucking me in, but other than
and you can't breathe. And I just think that my brain, because I've seen so many horror movies, and that just that creative side unlocks, and it's like this is what Mark is going to see when he has sleep paralysis. So I don't think it's necessarily a ghost. We have made love.
Oh, good for
yes.
You and the lady have?
Yeah, me and Victoria. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for
Very,
you.
very, very gentle.
Did I ask you the Jeremiah Morris question about in Indianapolis? Did I ask you that already?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, Jeremiah Morris asked, will we get Mark in Indianapolis? Because I really want to see him live.
Uncle Morty's, let's do it. I'll hit him up. I'll hit him up right after this.
Is that something that you want to do? You've done
Indianapolis is great, yeah.
There's not a
Uncle Morty's
comedy
Comedy
club
Club.
you don't want to do. Yeah, like...
No, there's one.
Oh, okay.
Well, Robert
There's
Coleman...
one, and it's in the state of Florida. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
It's called Lady in Black Sucks You into the Microphone.
Victoria's Laugh Shack.
I'm back in streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. Robert Coleman, do you think Mandalorian will have an opening crawl on the first episode? I wanted to.
Nope.
No.
I don't think so.
It won't, because I think that
I'd like to see it, but I'm fine with it not doing that.
I think Kathleen Kennedy has made it clear that they saved that for the saga, for the films.
Hey Mark, oh hi Mark, any plans to play shows in Ireland? Christ, you are all rubbish at Irish accents.
I am not rubbish at Irish accents.
You got me there.
Hey Mark.
I can do it. No, there's a woman in my the class I take my child to, my gym. It's a little bit more subtle than you would think. But the main thing is that you say Thanksgiving, you say tink,
Yeah,
you
turdy
say
turd.
You say like that's on the but it doesn't have to be like it. But she's like, it's a very subtle thing. She's like, are you having big feelings to her son? I don't think I'm crap at that.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
My Irish accent is uno, dos, tres, catorce.
Yeah.
It always becomes they're after me Lucky Charms. Everyone I.
Yeah, let's see.
The crack is my
Be gold.
I didn't see the Gary Busey thing where the guy was asking to do the Gary Busey thing. I missed it. I know, I missed it.
Denying everybody's eardrums.
I have to find that. If I let's see if we have Solskjaer, 1999. What films did you most relate to? I think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for sure, and then the other one was Closer, when that shit went down with me in general. When I saw Closer, I felt
haven't seen that.
Closer's awesome.
I really got to see that movie.
As a theater nerd, I'm sort of like, you got to see the play first.
Oh.
I am going to go with Punchline. No, movie that you most relate to. Jeez.
I know this says a lot about you.
Can we get these questions ahead of time?
Yeah, I know.
You can't think of any movie that you relate to where you see yourself in that person?
See myself in that person. Anything with Zach Galifianakis in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll do anything with Zach Galligan, the actor from Gremlins. I will take Gremlins.
He's great. Do you guys? This is Haskell. He's talking about another subject. Haskell 420 says, "Hey, breaking news! Martin Scorsese is going to wear a CGI suit and turn into an Alfred Hitchcock so he can direct a Rear Window remake."
Love it. Make it. Give me dead directors. Give me dead producers.
All day long.
I do not want to see any more live actors or actresses. I just want everyone, the whole industry, to be dead people.
See, I would pay to see a movie full of dead people.
Yes.
If it was like Dean, and like Red Fox.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Wood.
Just all over the place. It would just be great. And let the whole thing go down the shitter.
Before we get going here, and if you guys please, I'll try to get to. There's a couple more left. If you go to, you can throw in one or two more super chats, but then I got to end it. If I don't get to your super chat, then I'll do it on Monday. We'll do it on Monday. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the draft because we have been talking, and I didn't get to. Because Bateman wanted to talk about it a lot yesterday. We just didn't get a chance to. The draft to me, because I think that's going to be, because Mark has one of the best sports minds out of all my friends, and
I just root for the worst sports teams.
And well, right, but I think that there could be some because you and I have yet to sit down about we have the kind of basis and the idea of what we want to do with the draft, but I think implementing the rules and how it's going to work and the point system.
We have a date circled, but it's just a matter of getting all the nitty gritty done. I'm
going to list you the list of managers that we've announced so far. We've listed 9 out of the 10.
Okay. Kate, Brett.
Nope. But out of those managers, I want you to tell me who you think will come in first place and who will come in last. Okay?
Okay. At the end of the season?
At the end of the season, because there's going to be a big prize to the end of the season. So here are the managers. Emma Fife, Dagnino, Kaiser, Winston Marshall, Coy Jandrew, Grace Hancock, right? Who am I missing here? I'm missing Jay Washington. We have shoot.
Kate and Brett.
I said Kaiser already.
Together.
Robert Meyer Burnett.
Robert
Meyer Burnett. Yeah. And I think that's it right now.
I mean, it would just be me pulling a name out of a hat. I think there's like 5 that are really all on the same level.
Right.
So,
first place,
James Dean.
I will say, I'll say Jay.
Jay's coming in first. Okay.
I'll say Jay comes in first. Yeah.
I think that Emma will come in first.
I was about to say Emma Fife. Yeah.
And Burnett comes in dead last.
I would ratify. I'd actually ratify both. Definitely the Burnett coming in last. Yeah. But I think Emma's got a good shot.
I think Emma too.
Roxy does.
Yeah. All right. Let me.
Roxy. Did you name Roxy?
I did not.
Oh, you didn't say Roxy.
How do I
It
forget
was already
Roxy?
in my head that I was.
That wasn't shade, people.
No, I mentioned her great
There's
interview.
nothing but love. Come on now.
You know, I heard it was a little hot.
I know.
It
The
said
Collider
here,
Studios.
never
You know, Kristian
mention
didn't mention
anyone.
you. He didn't mention you.
Yeah, no, she Roxy would be pretty damn good too.
What if you literally were not mentioning, and we're all like, no, you know
Who?
I
think
The person.
is there someone from Boston that does stuff? I don't know.
She sort of got a little bit of a raspy.
Right.
I don't
You
know.
know.
Okay, so let me finish up.
Love
Let
Roxy.
me finish the super chat, and then we'll call it a day here. Let's see. We have Dasan Sostarik. Mandalorian reviews by Harloff is a must, don't you think? Yeah, it's going to happen every Monday. Excuse me, every Tuesday or Friday, whenever it drops. I will do a spoiler review later on that day that you guys can. We'll do a live chat for it, probably same amount of time, hour, 2 hours, so I can get into it with you guys.
Wow.
So yes, that will. Yeah, man, for sure.
Wow.
I want to talk Star Wars with people.
I know, but that's a time commitment.
But for the record, this person is also probably responding to Mark saying that we should be the ones doing the Mandalorian.
Sure.
Don't worry.
You guys should do a competing show and release it at the same
we
time as
are.
Chris.
Yeah.
Well, Jake Acavetta says, gotta watch this later, but wanted to support. Thank you. John Garland asks, when is the Star Wars show with Campia starting? It started already. Last Tuesday was the first episode, already at 70,000 views. It did really well, and we'll be back next Tuesday on his channel.
Nice.
So go check that out. Let's see if there's anything else left.
That's great for his channel.
Bag of limes. How much would it cost to get Brett to shave off that dead muskrat? That comes in
Thank you
from
for
bag of
asking
limes.
in such a nice way.
If it goes right into my account, let's talk prices.
Yeah, that's it. All right,
What
listen.
would you said? I'd say set the bar at a cool $1,000.
I shave this shit all the time.
He shaved yesterday. That's overnight.
This is years
Oh
in the
no,
making.
this is my brand.
Well, if I missed any of your questions today, especially the one where it comes to Busey. Oh, there's one more. Villanelle says, "Am I the only one who thought Mark and Kristian were brothers for the first time? For the longest time, their banter is too good." We got that a couple times up top, I think, but I just think
in the early days?
In the early days, but it's a rhythm. You just get lucky.
Yeah.
We found that rhythm.
People used to come like Kristian would answer the door and they'd be like, "Mark, I didn't know you had an older brother." I'm kidding. Tell your dad that.
I want to thank all of you guys for an
like TJ.
amazing week. I want to thank David Michael Frank for
Yes.
everything that he did. I want to thank
man.
Robert Butler.
If you only knew.
what David had to do today. And then for Ben Goddard, Ben Batemen coming on this week, Ashley Mova, Winston Marshall.
Huge first week.
Everybody who got involved here this week to make this thing a reality. It really is. It's humbling. It's awesome. And I wasn't lying when I said this is the most excited I've been to talk into a microphone in a very long time. I'm glad that Mark Ellis and I are able to do a show. I'm glad that I got my friends Kate and Brett here to do shows also, and you'll be seeing a lot more of them because I want you to learn how cool they are as much as I know how cool they are.
We all back Monday?
We're all back on Monday. I'm back on Monday.
I'm
so
bringing something with me Monday too.
Are you really?
Bringing something with me. Might
Okay.
be a clip of something. Bringing something with
All right,
me.
Might be a full beer.
We'll see. Hopefully we can get this thing working.
Clippers.
You guys can make sure that you go over to the Schmoedownlive.com. Get those tickets to New York. Get the tickets to see us downtown LA. We're going to be starting doing shows. We're looking to do SEN live shows on the road coming next season also. So get the tickets on the Schmoedownlive.com. So if you want to join Patreon, it's patreon.com/Schmoedown. Thanks again for everything, for you guys, for the support. Leave a comment, click like. Remember, the clip outs are going to be on the SEN clip out channel. I'll post some of I'll post that channel so you can subscribe because we don't want to bombard your feeds. So for Mark Ellis and for Brett Sheridan, Kate Mulligan, David Michael Frank, we hit that music on the way out, Dave? Is that possible?
Are we live?
Hit the music.
Oh, it's possible.
It's possible. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. I really had a great time talking to you. Gonna do it again on Monday. A lot of silly shit going on. Sinead DeFries on next week. Rachel Cushing looking to get her in. A lot of people coming in. John Kaiser coming in next week. We'll see you next time.